Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close, I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to haters. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
All right, with all the crazy things that's going on, episode 405, we were not going to do a podcast today, but we decided to. Right after this, we got to run to the airport. But a lot of crazy things are going on campuses that we got to kind of talk about. I got a few stories here. One, all the stuff that's going on with Columbia University, with Eric Adams being upset at what they're doing, taking the flags down, telling them you got to put the U.S. flag back up, and then AOC slamming Eric Adams and saying Columbia University for NYPD raid of campuses. And then at the same time, Biden sitting there considering giving some Palestinians refugee status. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now. Lots of agitating going on right now. And I want to answer one question that we talk about here on the podcast. And that question is, who is all of these universities that are not doing nothing about it? Who's their number one customer? I'm going to tell you stats who their number one customer is and why no one's doing anything about it. The deans are sitting there saying it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Obama said on the podcast he was with Jason Bateman saying Trump's not considered a serious guy in New York. We'll talk about that. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene reveals she will try to oust Speaker Johnson next week. And at the same time, just yesterday, the House passes anti-Semitism bill as Johnson highlights campus protests. And I mean, I understand they're kind of doing a knee-jerk reaction, kind of like what Tom said earlier, but I'm not sure that's the right move right now to show strength. And, hey, here's what we're going to put in here. Let's silence people and you give people a chance in the future to do it even more. We'll talk about that here a little bit today. Substitute teacher, we haven't shown this video. We will. Substitute teacher gets called the N-word by a kid, and he just destroys the kid. And you got to see this clip if you haven't already. OnlyFans investigated over fears it has exposed children to pornography. Then we have another story from CNBC. Ready for this one? Why hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk of failure. CNBC, why hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk of failure. Wait till you find out why that is. California's EV goal, $20 billion to meet 2045 demand is kind of being messed up by one guy that they kicked out of the state. His name is Elon Musk, because Musk is sitting there saying, look, all this bullying shit you're doing and I'm a bad guy. Musk undercuts Tesla's Chargers. Biden landed as a big deal. Biden desperately needs Musk to get these Chargers done. And Musk is kind of saying, yeah, no, I'm not interested, especially for as much as disrespect you're giving me. I'm not interested in doing that right now. Obviously, we're speculating, and it's allegedly, but we'll get to the allegedly here in a minute. Justin Bieber sparks fans' concerns as breaks down in tears. Fed removed 250 cameras from Diddy's homes. Doc complains. I think this is the TMZ doc that came out. I think that's what it is, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. Bill Maher mocks Don Lemon to his face. We'll talk about that. Taylor Swift's song with anti-Christian stuff that's going on. Texas is no longer the hotspot for illegal immigrant crossings. White House considers welcoming some Palestinians from war-torn Gaza as refugee. Again, they're trying to win Jews, and they're trying to win Palestinian, Gaza. They're trying to win everybody. And guess what happens when you try to chase two chickens? You don't catch either one of them because they're going to run off. You learned that in Rocky. You go after one of them, not two of them, right? They're not learning how to do this kind of stuff, and it's unfortunate.
Chickens getting faster.
Moment terrified kids at a park. They're just right there doing their things on school ground. A trans man starts chasing to take one of the kids. You got to see this video. And then trans athlete to compete in National Women's Water Polo Championship. This entire time, they're trying to rewrite Title IX. We'll get to that, and Tom's going to give you a breakdown on that. And then what else do I have here? Ryan Garcia. Did you guys see that story? Boxer Ryan Garcia tested positive for banned substance, and he claims it happened right after he met with Donald Trump. He's saying that's the reason.
Weird.
Kind of weird. And even Gervonta Davis defended him. But Devin Haney said some things about him that maybe will cover on what happened there. And then Fed Powell says looming U.S. election will not sway rate decisions. And we have to show the coins that Newsom got. It's just fantastic coins that he got. Respect for the kind of coins that he got. But anyways, before we get into the story, let me kind of share with you guys. You guys were asking for the shirts. It's officially here. The other day, I take Dylan to a practice I've never been to a facility I've never been to. And I'm walking in. 3 fathers are wearing the Valuetainment Future Looks Bright hat. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Hell yeah.
It was the sickest thing to, PBD Future Looks Bright. They had the hats on. We all took pictures. It was fantastic. We had great conversations. So the word, folks, to save you from getting in trouble is called allegedly. So now we have shirts for you to wear called allegedly. Rob, if you can show these pictures, and you can. We were going to announce this next week, but they're now here for you to order. Allegedly, you can buy it in black with white. And on the back of it, if you can show the back of the shirt, Rob, the back of the shirt, zoom in a little bit, says Future Looks Bright. So in the front, you can buy that with red. You can buy it in black. Go to the red one so they can see the difference. And you can also buy it in white with black.
I like it.
And listen, go to work, go to the gym, wear a shirt, allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Allegedly. You can use the word allegedly on everything to protect yourself. It's the number one insurance word in communication today being used by everybody. So here's what we're doing today. For the allegedly shirts, for anybody that goes and orders, the first 100 that ordered the allegedly shirt with a Future Looks Bright hat will get a Future Looks Bright shirt and a Valuetainment pin sent over to you. So you order an allegedly shirt with a Future Looks Bright hat, you get a Future Looks Bright shirt and a Valuetainment pin being sent over your way. Go to vtmerch.com to place the order. Again, vtmerch.com to place the order. Is there a code for it, Rob, or no?
No, I just put the link in the chat to the allegedly shirt. Put everything in your cart, and then we'll take
So
care
if
of
people that are listening to this on Spotify or Apple, what do they do? How do they do it?
It'll be in the description for Spotify as well.
So you put in the description
iTunes.
Spotify as well.
Correct.
Fantastic. Okay. Go sport the gear, guys. We want 1 million people in America wearing Future Looks Bright gear, walking around telling everybody that the future looks bright because we believe it does. So having said that, currently the future doesn't look bright for Columbia University.
No, it does not.
And a lot of Ivy League schools and a lot of students that are protesting, and it's looking pretty nasty. And what's wild about it is, what is today's date?
Today's May 2nd. Mark.
When did 4 years ago in May, when did George Floyd event take place? May 26th of 2020.
So wait, you're saying 4 years ago in the same month during election year, something like this happened somewhere else?
Exactly. And the chaos at that time was the BLM protest.
Wow.
The chaos at this time is what? The pro-Palestine Israel protest. And all, by the way, then they pinned whites against blacks. Okay. Whites were the enemy. Okay.
Yeah.
Today, they're pinning who? They're pinning pro-Palestine Muslims against Israel, Christians. They're pinning them against each other. Enemy, enemy, enemy. And something is about to happen the next few weeks. Now, Rob, if you got a couple of these clips ready, I'm going to read a couple of these. So first, Columbia University protester demands free food and water. We'll play that clip for you. Then you have to see what happens inside Columbia University's hall after protesters evicted. Then you have to hear what Eric Adams said, and then what happened in New York, NYPD. Rob, why don't we start off with the first girl who is there? You can tell she is smart.
And before you play it, Pat, look at the guy in the back right. If that guy with that scarf and that halter top was in Gaza, he'd be dead from Gazans, FYI. But go ahead, Rob. He's sweet.
Why did you have to get everyone's attention to his belly button?
And he's got
Why are you doing
and he's
that?
got that midriff going there.
He's like, listen, I'm going to leave today. I'm just going to look like a terrorist. I just want to look like a terrorist.
Go ahead, Rob.
I blush like
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
Watch this.
But they did put themselves in that very deliberately, in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying We want to be revolutionary.
Now she's trying to
we want
think
to take
about how to
over
get
this
the answer and spin it.
Now we
It's their
can take
college
free
education
schools,
at work.
and
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian
Not
aid.
violently stop us.
Yeah.
Not violent.
We are looking
Humanitarian
for a
aid as if
commitment
she's
from them that they
okay.
will not
Poor
stop
little
violence.
baby. We want some water
Well,
and food
I don't know to what
underneath
extent it has been attempted, but
I am
we're looking for a
smart and
commitment.
important. Please bring me some water and some food. It is
We just-
unfair.
No, but you know what's
Oh my
bad? She's-
gosh, cry me a river.
And when you hear this humanitarian aid, you're not at war, you dumbass. Your dorm room, Sarah, is 30 feet away.
Yeah.
She's like, we need help. Like,
And-
chopper it in.
Tom.
Get the hell out.
Not all of those little bastards are students on a meal plan, by the way.
Yeah, you think?
Not all those protesters are students.
They're not bastards. These guys have parents who are paying for it, Tom. Their parents are paying for this. So these are not people that are going here just because they're so smart and all this stuff. Yeah, probably they get good grades. They're good at, being led by teachers and professors in schools. Sure, I get that. But some of these guys have parents that are spending $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 to go to these schools.
I apologize for that. I shouldn't have called those entitled assholes bastards.
That's a fair
That's better.
transition. Thank you, Tom, for being more appropriate with your
That's it. I'll
categorical.
be
like-
more careful.
Pat, what's happening? How did they let it get this bad this fast? And nobody's getting involved, right? Nobody's getting involved, number one. Number two, what?
Allegedly,
Allegedly,
there-
nobody.
Allegedly.
it's a word. You got.
And by the way, you think this is going to stop? You think this is going to stop?
Well, let's
anytime
go to the next one. Rob.
Oh, my
Why don't you
God.
show the next one here, Rob?
This
Rob,
is not
why
stop.
don't you
What I'm worried about is there's going to be a shortage of lesbian art history majors if they can't graduate this year.
Oh,
Well,
no.
But by the way, I'm going to answer the question. I'm telling you guys, because all I've been curious about is who the hell is allowing this to happen? And number two, who are universities' number one customers? That's where we have to think about on why this is taking place. Rob, play the next clip. Go for it. Which one is this?
This is the protesters breaking into Hamilton Hall
Let's see
at
it.
Columbia.
Wait, who? Are those cops or those are protesters?
Somebody's on the inside recording.
These are protesters.
Fast forward a little bit, Rob. Oh my! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, this is exactly what happened on J6. By the way.
Yeah.
Of course, this is.
Yeah.
These are good people.
No, these are peaceful.
Yeah.
These are peaceful protesters.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what happened on J6. Yeah.
Listen, where's the FBI? You think the FBI is here? Is the FBI going to start taking people's names that are dressed
All
like?
right, go to the next one. What it looks like afterwards. I think you have the clip of what happened to the hall right afterwards. Play this one. Watch this one here. Yep. Yeah.
What nice, peaceful.
Yeah. Peaceful protesting. Peaceful protesting.
Nice. Mostly peaceful.
Look, stuff was broken for no reason. They're trying to.
And by the way, at UCLA, do you have the clip of the flag where why don't you do the one where they're putting the Palestinian flag? I don't know if you have that one as well or not. If you do,
I have some comments.
So watch this one here.
And who is this? Oh, is that a cop?
They're taking down the Palestinian flag.
No, they took down
replace the
originally
American
flag.
the American flag.
Correct.
Then the police came in and replaced the Palestinian flag.
Who the hell
with
put that
US
up? Who put it up?
Do you know what this did to me yesterday when I saw it? I can't even explain it to you when I saw this, what it did to me.
You saw what Eric Adams had to say.
That's exactly what I'm going to get to next. So,
but look, by the way,
is there a clip about Eric Adams or no on what he said?
Hell yeah.
Why don't you play the Eric Adams clip?
By the way, the first guy in there, CUNY jacket. I think that's City University of New York. So that's like a security guy on campus trying to help too.
Good, I love that. Good for you. You're a hero. Play this clip.
Another significant part of the video was at the end. That's our flag, folks. Don't take over our buildings and put another flag up. That may be fine to other people, but it's not to me. My uncle died defending this country. And these men and women put their lives on the line. And it's despicable that schools will allow another country flag to fly in our country. So blame me for being proud to be an American. And I thank Commissioner Daughtry for putting that flag back up. We're not surrendering our way of life to anyone.
Good.
Right.
Yeah, I respect that, but that's still the same guy. Let's not forget. That's literally like, come on, illegals, everybody come in here. He loves the flag, but the same token, he's trying to destroy America by letting everybody and their mother come in here illegally and set up New York. New York is, by the way, hold on. New York is falling apart, has fallen apart because of that guy. And I respect the fact that he's loving the flag, but your actions are louder than your freaking words, period.
Hang on a second, Vinny. I think Eric Adams is open to a lot of criticism.
I just did it, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of video and there's a lot of sound bites, a lot of history that he has to own up for, and he deserves the criticism, exactly what you just said. But he is changing his tune. He was the one that said, hey, winter is coming. I can't handle all these people, and I don't want to close schools. I don't want to turn gymnasiums into an overnight sleeping shelter. I don't want to do that. And he did, but then on the other side, he was handing out EBT cards for nothing on taxpayers' dollars to homeless people. So he deserves the criticism. But he appears to be, this would be a great phrase here, he appears to be getting religion about this whole situation, about that this is an invasion, and he is in ground zero for it, and he's changing his tune, but he deserves the criticism.
Adam.
So let's be clear about one thing. These protesters hate America. So we talked about the horseshoe theory the other day about different ends of the spectrum and extremists. My enemy are extremists. Why is my enemy extremist? Talking about choose your enemies wisely, because there's no compromising with these people. Whether it's on the far right or the far left, we've known for years the dangers of the far right. Whether it's KKK or neo-Nazis or white nationalists, we know what they stand for. We frankly had no idea how radical the far left is in America. We've heard rumors, communism, we've seen this thing, socialism, but what has been introduced to American society in the last 20 years, this critical race theory, woke agenda, has become pervasive in the university specifically. First, it was 12 liberal professors for every one conservative professor. Now that's gone up to 13, 14, 15. Where does it end? So the difference between the far right and the far left, you could argue the following. The people on the far right, as disgusting as they are, the neo-Nazis, the KKK, the white nationalists, at the very least, they love America. Period. Now they want to keep America white and keep any non-white Anglos. They want to keep it white.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty disgusting, but at least they love America. The people on the left, they hate America. They have white guilt. They have white shame. They want to apologize for being white. Their decolonialization, their intersectionality, cross-sectioning with critical race theory. At the end of the day, if you just want to sum it all up, you hit the nail on the head, Vinny. The gay kid in the back with his belly ring showing, protesting for Palestine will be free. The gays for Gaza. The second he steps in Gaza and goes, hey, y'all, dead, beheaded.
No, he's done.
Have a nice day.
Done.
That's the difference.
So here's a question I want to ask. Let's actually think like critical thinkers, and let's start asking questions. So, number one, who is university's number one customer?
Meaning what? The students or the parents?
Yeah. So who is
whoever's paying the bill?
Whoever. If you're at a university, okay. And you're sitting there thinking about these universities, who would you say is your number one customer? Who should be every university's number one customer?
Well,
but think about it. Let me start off with a father that's actually sending his kids there. Mm-hmm. Who should be every university's number one customer?
It should be the student that's receiving the product.
Who's number two?
The parent that's paying for the product.
Okay, so number one should be the students that are paying for the product. Number two is the parents that are paying the product, the students that's attending.
I have a third one.
Go ahead.
The government via student loans that are backing all of this.
Okay.
Where you can't default on a loan.
Great angle. Yeah. Rob, can you pull up what I just sent you? I just airdropped you 3 different things. So before you show this, I don't want you to look at the screen. I just want you to ask this question of yourself. So what percentage of Harvard's money that came in 2023, okay? What percentage of Harvard's money that came in 2021, 2022, 2023, let's pick one of the years, 2021. What percentage of Harvard's money that came in 2021 you think came from actual student tuition?
I see where you're going with this.
Where do you think it came? What percentage?
It was mouse nuts.
Give me the number.
15%.
17%.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And by the way,
see where you're going with
7% of it is not even the students. It's executive education and continuing education. 10% are the people that are actually trying to get a degree.
Okay.
Okay, stay with me here.
Yep.
Hang on, let me make the point,
Yep.
and then you can go to the other one, Rob. Not this one, go to that one. So watch it, not this one, the other one, next one. Yeah, okay, go to the first one. Watch this here, Tom.
Can I look?
Only 10% is from kids trying to get a degree. Students, out of all the money they're getting, it's only 10% from tuition.
Holy crap.
7% is from people like me. You go to OPM, Owner President Management Program. We send Moral and the kids to some executive on how to be a better C-suite executives. We send Mario Teague, the guys, Leo to these. That's 7% continuing education, executive education. 39% is from endowments. And 10% is from gifts, which means half of their money is coming from philanthropy and charity. So, who is their number one customer? So let me give you a visual here. You ready? I'm going to give you a visual here. I'm going to give you a visual here. You are the president, the dean of Harvard.
Okay.
You're sitting there. Assistant Tom calls in. Hey, President Ellsworth, we have two people waiting for you on the line here. One, I have the number one student on campus, Larry Jackson. His father's on the line. Larry Jackson's father last year gave $500,000 to the university years. On line two, we have Jorge Soros on the line, who is with Open Society Foundation. Tell Mr. Jackson I'll call him back. Please put Mr. Jorge Soros through. Boom, call comes through. Hi, Mr. Soros. How are you? Hey, well, listen, this is what we need to do. You guys better not da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, we're going to do that for you, sir. And by the way,
Burn
we've
it
also
down.
got the table at the front of the banquet for all the donors next week. I'm taking care of it.
That's right.
We're going to personally give you on a tour, and you're going to love the new research that we've done on intersectionality.
So check this out. So if you are running a frickin' general contractor construction guy, okay? Tom has given you last year $50 million of business to build buildings. Adam's giving you only $10 million.
I'm hooking
Who's
up
a
with
better customer for you?
Tom.
It's
100%.
not even close. So guess what, folks? For people that are asking a question saying, why the hell they're allowed to do this? Because they don't have a choice.
Wow.
The people that are giving the endowments are sitting there saying, hey, listen, be quiet or else.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you the second one here. How much you think China's given to U.S. universities the last 5 years? How much? So China in the last 5 years has given $400 million to universities, $390 million. Of the $390 million, how much of it do you think went to Harvard? 70 million. Wow. 70 million they give. Who is their number one customer? Understand this. So we are delusional here. And by the way, we have been taught our entire lives, you better respect your teacher. You better respect your this. You better respect your that. Fine. I was taught that my entire life. You better respect your professors. I have a hard time telling my kids right now to go respect a professor that's sitting there teaching all this bullshit, dividing America. I have a hard time. What are you supposed to do when the stuff like this is happening? So the average family is supposed to send their kids to school and say, respect your teacher, and your teacher's sitting there talking about how much this person hates America. You want me to say that? Yeah, you better listen to your teachers. Parents, you can no longer say you better listen to your teachers. You can say, hear them out and see what they ask you to do matches the values and principles that we have as a family that we're raising. There is no more, because half the challenge is also how we as parents are empowering teachers and professors so much that we think anything they say is right, like they're walking on water. Hell to the no. No, that's not right. Because look what they're doing to America right now. Is this okay with you? I'm not okay with this. You know you're not okay with this. So imagine as a parent, you're sitting there conflicted saying, man, I love these teachers. These guys are amazing. In our school, whatever school, the teachers that always did good things, the parents would always come together and say, for this teacher, we're going to give this gift. For that teacher, we're going to give this gift. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yes, for the teachers that go above and beyond. But some of these teachers right now got a lot of control. So for me, a few reminders. One, don't forget it is May 2nd, 2024. The 4-year anniversary of George Floyd is coming up. May 26th of 2024. It is right before RNC. It is right before DNC. And it is exactly 5 months, give or take, 4.5 months away from the day you're going to vote. They want another George Floyd. They need another George Floyd. They need whites to go against blacks and blacks to hate America like whites the way they did in 2020. They need these Israel, Iran, Palestine, Christian, Jews. You're a Zionist. You're a Islamophobia. You're a this. They need this in America. And by the way, to all the other podcasters outside of America that are saying all this shit to increase the temperature in America, you don't love America. And I'm not surprised that you're saying what you're saying. Listen to the people that live in America that are raising their kids here. All the other people outside of America that are trashing America, I'm not surprised you don't like America. Your country should be number one to you. Wherever you raise your kids, that should be the number one country to you. We're living in America. I'm in America, folks. This podcast is heard by 180 plus countries. I live in America first. This is my number one priority as a country. It's that simple. If you live in Australia, I fully understand Bishop Marmari Emmanuel the other day said, number one country to him is where? Australia, because he lives there. It should be. If you're in UK, you better take care of UK to be safe. If you live in Argentina, it better be Argentina. But those of you that are living in America and you're not defending America, you're delusional. Those of you that are protesting and trashing America, a one-way ticket. If I was a president, I would offer you a one-way ticket of $100,000 to give up your residency, give up your citizenship, give up your green card in America permanently. $100,000 cash given to you for the rest of your life. You can no longer come to America. Take it. Here's $100,000. Leave, never come back. Cash wired to you. If you come, you're going straight to jail. You can never come back here again. I dare you to take it. You won't take it. Because deep down inside, you know you're wrong yourself, and you know there's not a country like this. By the way, Eric Adams is a Republican or a Democrat?
Democrat.
Here's Eric Adams. Look what he says. Eric Adams, is this the one that he talks about agitators? Go ahead and play this. This is a Democrat saying this. God forbid if you say this as a Democrat. Eric Adams is sick of it because it's happening in his own city, and he's starting to realize, my own policies suck. My own sanctuary city policies suck.
Yep.
Giving $53 million credit card to these people suck. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're wrong. Well, maybe he's going through a transition like he went through. Maybe he's going through like a lot of people saying, what the F are we doing? Is this really the party I'm defending? Play this clip real quick.
Well, there were two operations tonight. One was with CUNY and one was with Columbia University. And once I became aware of the outside agitators who were part of this operation, as Columbia mentioned in their letter and their request with the New York City Police Department, it was clear we had to take appropriate actions. When our intelligence division identified those who were professionals, well-trained, one of them was married to someone that was arrested for terrorism. We knew these children were being exploited and they were in danger, and would have been irresponsible not to reply to requests from Columbia University.
Mr. Mayor, when you say that the protests have been co-opted by professional outside agitators, how do you distinguish between those outside agitators and students who are just protesting peacefully? And who is this individual who is connected to a terrorist?
Tell us.
Well, and it's not singular. It's plural, several organizations and groups. I want to be clear on that. We did not take this action lightly. And once the Columbia University team and leadership in their letter acknowledging that outside agitators were on their campus grounds, we looked at our intel and information. I was briefed by the intelligence division, and they were able to identify organizations and individuals who were not students, but were professional agitators. And we realized after the breaking into Hamilton Hall, some of the tactics, some of the methods, these are clearly being used across the globe. And we understood that how really dangerous this situation had become.
Okay, but Mr. Mayor,
motive, you can pause it right there at this point.
Weird, isn't that weird?
And he's saying it. By the way, Has he been hanging around an Alex Jones? This guy sounds like a conspiracy theorist.
He sounds like
Mayor Adams, you better not say stuff like that because you know there's a guy named Jorge that may call you.
Yep.
And this Jorge man is very powerful. Open Society Foundation. He's given a lot of money to a lot of people to do all these, agitators coming out and doing this. So you guys are able to divide America because May 26th is around the corner. Go ahead, Tom.
This is an epiphany. Erik Adams has had an epiphany. Intelligence. Look, you're talking about the New York Police Department. The New York Police Department has its own intelligence division that dates back to 9/11. And it works with the Port Authority. It works with Kennedy. It works with LaGuardia. It works with all the ports of all the opportunities for bad crap to come into New York. So they know they had to harden their city for perimeter and for security. And they have intelligence organizations. Do you hear what he said? These were the methods that are used around the globe to agitate, to create riots, to create, discord. He knew it. And the intelligence agencies in New York knew it. And so they added this up and they went in there and they found a couple of the people and they go, wait a minute, these aren't students. These are guys from outside here. This is professional. This is a professional job. This is what Erik Adams is saying. He is having an epiphany and he is speaking as the leader that he needed to be all along. I'm proud to hear what he's spoken for. He has to answer for his past, of course, but I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to see it. And I hope, America, you're listening. This isn't just New York. All those immigrants that came in or end up on planes in this city, this city, this city, this city, there are bad people in the crowds. And these bad people are showing up here in New York. Some of these agitators are traced back to border entries. Wake up.
Oh, by the way, do you have the border entry agitators? Do you have the link back? Rob, do you have that link there?
Which one's the agitators?
The one that shows, that one right there, Rob. Check this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vinny.
So this is... this is actually a really, really funny one right here. So, Rob, this is all those criminal illegal invaders because we were tracking them from the caravans that were coming in to the United States to our border. And in the interior of the U.S. Today, over 1,000 of the same devices are present that we've been tracking these people at over 21 protests and growing across America. Isn't that... Wait.
Vinny, rewind and paint it. Where did they get the device and what device is being tracked?
So this is Homeland Security gives them at the border a device, a cell phone or something. So
the free phone. Welcome to America.
Yeah, remember the free phone? And then, by the way, to let them know, and remember we said this on this podcast, they're in here, they're waiting around on street corners. Some guy in New York made a video where this black dude walks into the corner and he goes, look at all these people. There's like 10 of them there, 10 of them there, as if they're waiting for the call. The call just was made. This is the first call. And the call is go to this university, go to this university, go there, agitate, and because guess what? We let you into the country.
So the free phones are now in these universities.
The free phones are in the university. Yeah, by the way. And now these people are going to be able to vote as well. And then what if they want them to do something else? What if one of those guys, Tom, I'm going to go on the limb, he gets a phone call and it's like, hey, listen, you have to go do that terrorist thing that we wanted you to do. Go to this school, go to this place. And,
allegedly, that is possible.
Of course it is.
By the way, check this out. Check this out. While this is going on, I'm going to read this and then, Adam, I'm going to come to you. So AOC slams Erik Adams. Okay?
Of course she does.
Columbia University for NYPD raid of campus. For NYPD raid of campus. So she goes on Twitter, Rob, if you can pull this up. I don't know if you have it or not. Watch what she says. If any kid is hurt tonight, that's exactly what you need. You need your George Floyd, May 26th. It's coming up. If any kid is hurt tonight, responsibility will fall on the mayor and the university president. Other leaders and schools have found a safe, de-escalatory path. This is the opposite of leadership and endangers public safety, a nightmare in the making. I urge the mayor to reverse course.
A nightmare in the making. What does she mean?
Yeah.
She wants that nightmare. They want blood. They want a dead student. They want someone that goes on the new flag and is their George Floyd.
It's sure showing signs that, guys, I'm interested in patterns. As a business owner.
She's a Marxist. Let's make it clear. AOC is a Marxist. Her fundamental belief structure and what she's talking about is Marxism.
Yeah.
All the programs and comments and comes out of her core belief in Marxism. Her and her little sisterhood of the squad. This is what it's all about, America. And some of you voted for it, but all of you can vote against it and move them out of office.
But guess what? I don't think it'll happen. Oh, by the way, that right there, you're looking at what would you call her? A Marxist? She's a future president, Tom. These people will vote for this bartender. this bartender and that whole squad hates America, from Ilhan Omar to what's the Talib, Adam?
Rashida Tlaib.
They freaking hate this country, bro.
Adam.
They hate it.
Right. Well, I think what you're basically alluding to is these protests are not organic. They are organized by, a lot of times, left-wing dark money, i.e. Jorge Soros.
One of them.
Who hates America, who hates any sort of nationalistic pride. He's a globalist. And this is the disgustingness of what happens when you can't basically embrace having pride in your country. Someone like Soros and the money that he's been raising, he has no loyalty to any country. He has no loyalty to anything but his ideology. He has no loyalty to America, no loyalty to London, the Bank of London that he brought down. He has no loyalty to Hungary, can't even go back to Hungary. So a lot of this is traced back to Soros and the Open Society. And his son, Alex Soros, who's Alex Soros dating, by the way? Huma Abedin, Anthony Weiner's ex-wife. So we're going on with that. And we know what's going on in Gaza with a lot of these people. There's a pay for slay policy. What we're seeing in America is now a pay for protest policy. Whether these students actually are actual students or just paid agitators remains to be seen. But Pat, you crushed it. We thought it's the teachers. We thought that it was the parents. We thought that it was potentially the government that's bailing people out. At the end of the day, what you're talking about are the mega donors. And we've seen what's happened with specific examples of these mega donors. Example, Ken Griffin, Citadel Capital. Bill Ackman, right? Major hedge fund guy. Harvard guys.
Changed over. Bill Ackman, when you say that name, remember, he flipped last year in a big way.
Major flip.
Yeah.
Ken Blatnick. He also is a guy that basically went to Harvard. Leon Cooperman, who we spoke about on this podcast, Columbia University, Mark Rowan, Penn. These guys are billionaires who donate tens of millions of dollars to their alumni. Specifically, Ken Griffin. In the last 10 years, you know how much money this guy has given to Harvard? Ready for it? In 2014, he gave $150 million.
Damn.
I sent you something on this, Rob. Last year, talk about inflation.
Yeah.
Thanks, Biden. $300 million to Harvard. Why? Because they named the Kenneth Griffin Graduate School of Arts and Sciences in Harvard.
Nice. He has a building.
So at the end of the day, what we're talking about, these whiny snowflakes, this intersectional oppressee attitude, critical race theory. There it is, whiny snowflakes. The latest to stop donations to Harvard. Here's the solution. You ready for it? We've seen university presidents be fired. Claudine Gay, the woman from Penn that was fired. Fire the professors. Fire the bureaucrats. Fire the DEI bullshit. You don't need them, because if you're losing hundreds of millions of dollars from alumni, who gives a shit about what the progressive leftist professor has to say? By the way, last point here. The anti-war protests. The anti-war protests. Do you know how many wars are going on in the world today? Let me just name a few. Russia, Ukraine, Yemen, Syria, Boko Haram, South Sudan, Afghanistan, Haiti. You see what's going on in Haiti? Yeah, we all know what's going on in Iraq.
Barbecue.
Central African Republic. The list goes on and on and on. Why specifically this issue? I've seen someone do some interviews. You're anti-war. They go up to, okay, what other war protests have you been a part of? These agitators. Go ahead, tell me. This is my first one. What other war protests have you been a part of? This is it. There are no other war protests. This is it. So don't tell me you're anti-war if you protested zero other wars. You're clearly anti-America. You're clearly anti-Israel. You're clearly anti-Jewish. It is what it is. If you told me in 2023, prior to October 7th, Adam, as a Jew, what anti-Semitic Jewish hate have you experienced? Very minimal. Yeah. But what we've realized is this is seeping underground all over the world.
It's very easy. I mean, this is to manipulate this. It's very easy. Who is what community is easiest one to turn against Jews? What community is easiest one to turn against Jews?
The hardcore Muslim extremists.
Okay, great. What community is the easiest to turn against Muslims?
The Judeo-Christian Jewish rest of the world.
What community is the easiest to turn against whites?
Blacks.
What easiest community is to turn against blacks?
Whites.
The point is, So there's a part like here's where I'm at. When you run a insurance company and you recruit from all over the place, we're in Michigan, we're in New York, we're in Chicago, one of our biggest offices in Chicago, and I'm talking like Chicago. We're in Texas, we're in LA, we're in San Diego, we're all over the place. You're going to get people we're in DC, DMV, we're in Calverton, there's so many different places, Arizona. I've been to so many places. I lived in an RV from LA. For 30 days, I lived in an RV. Went from LA to Miami to Toronto to San Francisco, back to LA. Spoke to thousands of people living in this RV. We have agents from all walks of life. Guess what I'm all about? You can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be an atheist, whatever you can be. Do you love America? I do. We're good doing business. When you do that, don't do it in front of the mic. I don't know why you do that every time.
About that. Hurts my
Is that intentional?
No.
Have you noticed that every time he does it, he does it in front of the mic?
I thought he was
Continue, sir.
No, I'm being serious with you. Why do you do it in front of the mic?
I didn't think about it. Sorry.
Okay. So when you think about people you're working with, like you're in business with, there are people from all walks of life that we have, okay, that we'll do business with. Priority to me is, do you love America? I do. Let's be in business together. Mm-hmm. You hate America? I'm sorry, I'm Team America. I don't care what you are. You can be a Christian. You can be a Jew. If you're a Jew, you hate America. By the way, if you're a Jew, you're Israel first before America. I'm America. Mm-hmm. I'm not with you. If you're a Muslim, you're Hamas or Palestine or Iran or anything first before America. We're not on the same page.
Nope.
You can be a Muslim. You're America first, but you're proud to be from Iraq. You're proud to be from Iran. You're proud to be from anywhere. I have no problem with you, but we have chosen to live here. Let's protect what we have here. Let's protect our communities. Let's protect that. If you're doing that, there was a video you showed me about in UCLA. What were they doing in UCLA?
Did you see, there was a bunch of protesters that were hundreds of students converting to Islam and participating in an Islamic call to prayer at UCLA on the lawn. I sent it to Rob. Oil London posted this.
This is what? This is now.
This is yesterday.
London?
This is yesterday.
London.
Yeah.
Oil London's a big oil guy.
He loves oils.
Is that like?
Oh, there's white people in there. There's people that, by the way, don't even know how to wear the freaking hijab. Don't.
You guys not sorry.
Look, they're telling them not to record.
Now what?
Look, the white people just sitting there. They have no idea what's going on.
But what is this? Like they're praying?
They're praying.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, but some people. There's some people, the white people that are just there.
By the way, you know what I would say? You know what I would say? Here's what I would say. Christians, why don't you go pray as well?
Oh yeah, you'll never see them.
Christian, why don't you go do it?
No.
Why don't you go on campus and pray? So what? This to me is an element of competition. They're simply out praying you 5 times to 1. They're out praying you like you wouldn't believe. I don't have a problem with this.
Yeah,
everything that ever becomes big, that does well, they are better at rituals. They're better at traditions. They're better at those things, whether it's last names, companies, religions, cultures, all of that. When I see something like this and I say, okay, guess what? Didn't Greg Laurie build one of the greatest movements? What was that? The hippie movement of the 70s, the movie that came out, the Jesus Revolution?
The Harvest Festival?
Have you seen the Jesus Revolution movie?
Yep.
Have you watched it? It's an unbelievable movie. Guess what? Great. Didn't C.S. Lewis with his book Mere Christianity get a bunch of people to convert? Didn't Billy Graham in 1959 when he went to that lady and they went to the forest, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
That one lady that would always, when you're about to break, what did Billy Graham do? Went and baptized 210 million people. Billy Graham went to Korea and spoke in a country that didn't speak his language. Do you know how many people came to listen to Billy Graham speak? Show this to me. Billy Graham, okay? To go to Billy Graham, Korea, go to images, Rob, if you can. Just go to images. This is how many people showed up.
What?
Show the second picture. Show the picture to the right there. Watch that. These people don't speak English. They showed up for Billy Graham. So guess what? Who is the modern day Billy Graham? Who is the modern day Billy Graham that's going around? Not from the pulpit at a basketball center arena that, I'm talking about who's going out there, right? Who's going out? I don't have any problem with them doing this. It's called competition.
I know, but what I'm saying, and I'm not saying like that, by the way, what my point was, those aren't just all Muslims praying and calling to God. That's white people that have no idea what they're doing, but they're acting like they're praying and they're freaking converting people.
Yeah, and to
that's
me,
what I'm saying.
Every time I talk to Christian pastors that complain and say, well, look what Muslims are doing. They're going on our campuses. They're getting involved in our politics. They're getting involved in, they're having all these kids. I'm like, okay, so first of all, everything you said, you can compete with.
Yes.
You can't go on campuses. You can't go and get involved in politics. You can't go and have more kids, but you can't sit around and complain about it. They're beating you. It's that simple. Now, the part that disturbs me, that I'm not comfortable with, is whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jew, anything, living in America, trashing America, I have zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. Zero. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're Armenian or Syrian. I don't care if you're Persian. I don't care if it's anybody. If you're here, you best love America and what it stands for. You don't go to another country. It's that simple. Let me simplify it for you. I'm an immigrant. We were dying, literally dying to come to America. The day we landed in America, we were the happiest people alive to be in America. Any religion, I couldn't do that in Iran. Christians, no problem. My mom and dad go to church. We don't have to do anything with that, even though I was an atheist. We could go out there and, do assembly. We can do anything we want in America. We're free. Okay, your family came here as well from another country.
Same thing.
Okay. Happiest day, man, when I became a citizen, and I'm going like this. I got out of the Army a month early just to come and become a U.S. citizen with 7,000 other people. And I'm going like this with the flag. And I have it till today. You know what that day was? That's like the greatest gift. I am an American. The American flag is one of the most special flags when you look at it.
Oh, it's the best flag.
It's unbelievable. Yet, at the same time, you have to also understand there's nothing wrong with somebody. You know how people have what do you call it?
The evil, the yin and yang.
Yin, what is it? What do they call it?
They say
Angel and the devil.
Angel and the devil.
Okay, let me tell you who I have. We almost should do a visual with this, Rob, and if Sam and Deli and the guys are watching, we should do like a fun skit with this. I have one guy on this side, and I have one guy on this guy. Let me show you what's on this side. This guy's like, dude, future freaking looks amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to take over the world. Things are going to be awesome. Everything is great. Da-da-da-da-da. And then this other guy is the guy that says, but got to stay paranoid. Don't forget what they did with 9/11. Don't forget what happened in, Germany. Don't forget what happened with Shah and Khomeini. I have these two guys in my ear, okay? It's the paranoid PBD. It's the freaking optimistic PBD. That's the paranoid PBD is what makes me ask questions.
Good.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And by the way, if you're watching this, if you watch this podcast, whether you're one of the haters that watches it or you love it or you just kind of like being introduced to it, I don't care. If you stay with us, you probably have a little bit of this as well. You have a little bit of that.
Big time.
Tom has a little bit of that. He has a little bit of that. Rob has a little bit of that. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's just you're an independent thinker. You can think for yourself a little bit and still have some set of values and principles that you're fighting for. Anyways, let's go to the next story here. Next story I want to get to is the Speaker Johnson story because it kind of goes with this. So House passes anti-Semitism bill as Johnson highlights campus protests. So let's see, where are we at here? Okay. The House passed the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act amidst concerns over anti-Semitism, particularly as pro-Palestinian protests erupted as college campuses nationwide. The bill aims to combat anti-Semitism by mandating the use of definition put forward by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, drawing criticism of its potential impact on free speech. The bipartisan vote, 320 to 91, with 70 Democrats and 21 Republicans vote against the bill, reflects a divisive stance on legislation. Representative Mike Lawler, the bill introducer, emphasized the bipartisan support, stating it's critical that we crack down on anti-Semitic hate within our country. Meanwhile, House Speaker Johnson has intensified efforts to address anti-Semitism on college campuses, announcing a House-wide effort and increased oversight of universities. Adam.
Yeah. I don't like this. And you're like, what? You're Jewish. Wouldn't you appreciate something like this? It's so weird to me that in 2024, we have to take a stance that's saying any sort of hate, we should probably eliminate that. We saw what happened when the university presidents couldn't man up or woman up and denounce genocide for anybody. Jews, unfortunately, are the one group that still you could hate on, no problem. And you're going to say, what do you mean by that? Go ahead and do these protests about fill in the blank type of culture. Go fill in the blank. Any type of segment of society. Black, Asian, Mexican, gay, trans, fat. Go try hating on those people. Go be anti-trans and publicly do it. Shut down. Go be anti-gay. Shut down. Go be anti-black. Good luck out there. You could still be anti-Jewish, and that's basically what this is, and it's perfectly acceptable, and the crowd will come in and start marching. Do I want to see anti-Semitism laws and bills passed these days? Not really. In fucking America in 2024, that's what we're dealing with. But unfortunately, here we are today. And why does this matter? Because we love America and we love values, Judeo-Christian values. You saw what Charlie Kirk had to say in that one video about why Israel is so important. Did you see that video? I don't know if you have that. He said, the college kid said, why should we care about Israel? Well, if you're a Christian...
Actually, play the clip.
Yeah, go ahead, watch this.
Rob, if you have it was sent in a group text last night. You just have to go to the group text that was last night and you'll find it. It's actually a very good clip where he breaks it down in his own way.
Yeah, but, here's the reality. We talked about the kids praying in the last segment. Here's the reality, guys. Ready for it? Islam has taken over the world. They've already taken over the Middle East. We've seen that. They've taken over Europe. Do you see what's going on in France, in London, in UK, in Germany, in the Netherlands, all over Sweden, all over Europe? They're taking over the caliphate. These are extremists. People I'm talking about. I have much love to the moderates, much love to the people that try to unify, much love to the moderate Muslims out there. Respect to you. But where are they?
But
speak up.
Can I ask you a question on them? Because when you say you could talk about be anti-Semitic and anti-Jewish and nothing happens and it's totally cool, I think in this sense, because it's Israel, from what I'm seeing from the setup from China and Soros. But I mean, if Kanye or anybody else, all these people mention anything about, Jews run the world, they get canceled. So you can't say that it's not right.
No, they don't get canceled.
No, what do you mean? Kanye?
They're corporations that chose to do business with them.
Yeah, they get canceled.
Cancel them.
Yeah,
because FTM, bro, follow the money.
Of course.
If you're Adidas.
Yeah.
And you're out there. Who developed Adidas, by the way? I think it was a freaking Nazi. I don't know. But
like Hugo
if
Boss.
You're saying, hey, you're a representation of our brand.
The guy's name was Adi.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Hugo Boss, too, was the outfit they tailored.
So if you're representing our brand and you say some wild-ass shit, whatever it is, and you damage the brand and the stock price goes down and people stop buying the product, you should be fired. But at the same time, if you want to listen to his music's not taken down from Spotify. It's still on Apple Music. Yeah, I don't think he should be canceled.
I think to say you can say anything you want about Jews, I don't think I agree. And again, we can banter, and I have no problem with that. I don't think you can say that because they in a way, Hollywood, music. Are you kidding me? Like the other day, Dame Dash, Suge Knight. Music is owned and ran by them, okay? And again, good for them for moving up. I'm just saying it's owned by them. Hollywood. How many of these last names? You want to go through a list of last names in Hollywood?
Yeah, because they started Hollywood.
Yeah, but
by the way, I understand that. I mean, but still.
We saw what happened with Thomas Edison and the monopoly that he had in New Jersey.
He did, and they left him. They left New Jersey and they went to Hollywood. Yes, he had a monopoly.
It's called a business person.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying
and why do Jews run banks? Because Christians basically were not allowed to do usury, charge interest. Our entire financial foundation of every corporation in the world, every bank, is based on charging interest.
Sincerely to you, what is the most tolerant religion in the world?
The most tolerant religion? Christianity.
It's not even close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is not even close. There is not a religion more tolerant than Christianity. None.
Turn their cheek.
There is no religion more tolerant than Christianity. There's only, believe it or not, one religion that you can trash as much as you want and get away with it.
Christian.
And it's Christians.
Yep.
Jews are not in that community. I don't think they're in that community. Now, if you have Charlie Kirk's video, Rob, if you want to play it, I like the way he makes this argument. It's actually a very interesting argument he makes. If you're able to listen to this and able to reason, I actually want to get your thoughts on this for anybody that's watching this. Folks, if you're watching this on Spotify and Apple, I mean, you'll hear what he has to say. Go ahead and play this, Rob. He's at a campus while he's doing this. A kid is asking him a question. Go ahead.
Is Israel so important to America?
What evidence do you have that the Bible is true?
Well, we have archaeological.
Right. Where is that archaeological evidence found?
In Israel.
Right. Thank you. So in the places controlled by Muslims, are we able to access that archaeological evidence?
No.
No. So therefore, as it's controlled by Jews, we Christians have actually gotten the better end of the deal. So you're asking the question, why should we support Israel? We want the Bible to be proven true. The archaeological evidence is found in Israel. The places where the Muslims can control it completely, like Bethlehem, we are not able to visit those holy sites. I have a theological belief, but I also have a belief that protecting the historical integrity of the Bible is good for all of humanity. And under its current government, we're allowed to access those holy sites. I'm able to go to see where Jesus walked on the water. I'm able to go and see where Jesus rose from the dead. I'm able to see where Jesus was betrayed by Judas Iscariot. I'm able to see where Jesus preached the Mount of the Beatitudes. And I think that's worth defending. And I'm afraid that if it was under Muslim control, there is no such guarantees always that Western Christians are gained access to those holy sites.
Why is Israel so important?
Yeah, it's such an amazing point, because as someone that has been to Israel multiple times, I got you a gift from the Armenian Quarter.
Yep.
Right? There's if you go to Israel, by the way, there's something called the Kotel, the Four Quarters. There's an Armenian quarter, there's a Christian quarter, there's a Muslim quarter, and there's a Jewish quarter.
Yeah.
All religions are accepted in Israel. Okay, I'm America first. I'm 43 years old. I've spent 42.999% of my life in America. I've spent collectively 2 months of my life in Israel. I'm not Israeli. I'm Jewish. I'm fucking American. But any religion is allowed in Israel. Okay, whether you're Christian, whether you're Assyrian, Armenian, whether you're Druze. But here's the most important thing. There's 2 million Muslim Arabs in Israel. How many Jews are in Gaza? 0. How many Jews are in Syria? 0. How many Jews are in Lebanon? 0. Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. You cannot be Judeo-Christian in a Muslim country, but you can totally be Muslim in a Christian country. The double standard is palpable. That's what's going on.
Tom, what would you say about that?
I agree with that, and I was going to rewind just a second to the original question you asked is, what do you think about the House bill? And I think here in the United States, the price of free speech is free speech.
Yeah.
That's the price of free speech. Now, inciting riots is illegal. Discord and causing a ruckus is illegal. But the price of free speech is free speech. Mm-hmm. And the tenets of the United States were Judeo-Christian tenets, and they feared the kings and queens and monarchs that would restrict. And when you start saying, I'm going to restrict anti-Semitism, then I'm going to restrict this, I'm going to restrict that, before you know it, you don't have free speech. Yep. And you have the government picking and choosing at all these things. And that can't happen. And so going back to the original story, that can't happen. And I agree with Charlie Kirk. It is more than worth defending the holy sites so you can continue the archaeology, because we have a faith in Christ, but we have also archaeology that keeps digging up stuff that people go, what is this thing? And guess what? The scriptures that have been sitting there for thousands of years, they say, hey, the scripture here talked about it. So nothing was invented. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So I want to go to a couple other stories with this. Tom, Musk, not with this, but a different story. Musk undercuts Tesla's chargers. Biden laughed as a big deal, lauded as a big deal, meaning celebrated as a big deal. And all of a sudden, Musk wants to change it. It's actually a big story, guys. So Elon Musk, this is the Bloomberg story. Elon Musk's recent decision to eliminate almost the entire supercharger team at Tesla, including senior executive like Rebecca Tinucci, throws into question the future of Tesla's cooperation in opening its chargers to other automakers. In building our EV charging network, we have to ensure that as many chargers work for as many drivers as possible. That's a big deal, and it'll make a big difference, Biden stated previously. The layoffs at Tesla have left automakers like GM, Ford Motor Company, Rivian Automotive in a precarious position as their customers were just beginning to gain wider access to Tesla's charging infrastructure. We strongly believe in helping other car companies to accelerate the EV revolution and just trying to do the right thing in general. Musk emphasized during an earnings call in July of last year. Tom, thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, what's happening here is that it's easy to be green, and it's easy to say, Gavin Newsom, 30% of cars sold in California have to be EVs by this date. By 2030, all the trucks, new trucks, can't be diesel. They have to be, electric. You can say all that and run your little Green New Deal and speak, but guess what? You got to plug them in gun somewhere. And Gavin Newsom's, by the way, there's a related story on this, Pat. In California, Gavin Newsom has said, yeah, we need about $20 billion. His word, not mine, $20 billion just to do the upgrades to charge the vehicles by 2035. By the way, that's 9 years away. Yeah, 11 years away. $20 billion is needed for that. And Musk was the guy that was building all the infrastructure, building for Tesla, and they came to Elon Musk on bended knee. And who did all the rest of the automakers come to him? This is what they said. They said, hey, the government's forcing us to do 1% of our cars being EVs. We don't own the gas stations. Where are the gas stations? Well, you can put that little charger in at the mall. No. That only gives you about, 2 hours of running time for 4 hours of charging time on a little standard plug. We need the superchargers, the big ones. Oh, you mean the one that Tesla thought ahead and built its own nation of service stations? Yeah, that one. And so Musk said, hey, you can go ahead and use my chargers. You can use my chargers. You can use my chargers. And they made deals with all the automakers. Now, California doesn't even have enough power. And state of California is about to tax its citizens or put bonds in for $20 billion, Gavin Newsom, to put the charging in place. And Elon Musk is saying, hey, you know what? I got to make money too. And guess what? Now some things have happened in the EV market. You know what? I'm not going to build as many supercharger stations, but you Tesla owners, you can keep using them because you have a contract with me when you buy a Tesla car.
There's a part of this, Tom, that I wonder. First of all, it's a power play. It's like Rockefeller and Flagler's when they owned the railroad. Like, oh, you don't want to do that with us? Okay. Oh, yeah. No problem.
Maybe I won't build the railroad to Cleveland.
That's right. No problem. You're okay. Don't worry about it. Don't do business with me. So he is doing what Rockefeller did back in the days. Now, he can get away with it for temporarily and have a separation from because these other car companies are getting destroyed with their EVs. When the numbers are coming back, it's not looking good for these other car companies, and they know they need them. But you know what Biden administration has to do now? They just have to go do some begging, and guess what? It's too late. Mm-hmm. It's too late. So now what's wild is all of these other automakers have to be pro Elon Musk and pro X.
Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Hey, Ford, I heard you stopped advertising on X.
Yeah.
Hey, GM, you guys still want to advertise on X? Hey, do you understand? Like, these are the kind of things that is kind of going on right now. I got a product you need.
Of course.
But guess what? You don't want to advertise? No problem. I won't give you access to these chargers. What makes you think you give me the middle finger that you don't want to advertise on X, and you want me to just sit there and say, I'm so sorry. I will change for you. Don't worry about it. Don't add. I'm not going to give you the chargers. Go do it yourself.
Yep.
You know how long it's been taking Tesla to put all these chargers all over the place? Do you remember back in the days when Teslas used to run out in the middle of the road and somebody has to come and tell them because there wasn't enough chargers?
No charge.
How long do you think it's taking them to build this up? A long time. Everybody else is starting to realize they need this guy.
And there's one more thing. Mr. President, Joe Biden. Yeah. Hey, a week ago, did you sign the TikTok ban bill that included language that you could use against X? Yeah. That's really annoying. Pat, there's part of that's in there too. That new TikTok ban bill can be used against X. And the same federal government that passed that bill needs Elon Musk to build service stations for their green mandate.
Well, hopefully that'll give them some leverage then, huh? Because that's the main goal of the whole TikTok
thing. He's got so much leverage.
I love it, though. Thank God, Elon. I love you.
As important as Elon is, there's a very good chance he's about to get dropped from the Magnificent Seven. It used to be FANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Now it's the Magnificent Seven. Tom, what are the Magnificent Seven? Microsoft, Google, Meta, Alphabet. NVIDIA, correct, the Magnificent Seven, and Tesla. So, no, you're looking at the movie, Rob. But they're about to get dropped. Now, I think 70% of Elon's wealth is actually tied to Tesla stock, right? Hundreds of thousands of millions of shares of what he has there. But here, he basically said, look, every 5 years, I fire 10% of my workforce, because the story started off with basically he fired 10% of the workforce. I did a whole episode on this on the Saucecast like 2 weeks ago. He said every 5 years we need to reorganize and streamline the company for the next phase of growth. 2 years ago, March of 2022, Tesla stock was at $360, all-time high. Today, Tesla stock There it is, the quote right there. Every 5 years ago, we're region organized. Yes. Today, Tesla stock, Rob, you could pull it up. I think it's at 180, I want to say. So they've been cut in half. There it is, bingo, in the last 2 years. So not exactly.
Go to 5 year.
Yeah, 5 year. They're doing great. Where were they? So this is
from 400 to 180. So it's let the drop of 50% or more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So over the last 5 years, obviously they have massive growth. But if you look at the last year or so, Tesla, it might get dropped from the Magnificent Seven. I think the stats are they dropped 29% first quarter. They had the worst first quarter in the last 4 years. Obviously, they shot up during COVID. It's the biggest decline they've had in the last handful of years, and the third steepest decline, quarterly plunge, since the company's IPO in 2010. So would I still bet on Elon? You betcha. Would I still bet on Tesla? You betcha. As of right now, they're about to get dropped.
And I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Because that's another thing where he is going to leverage and use the hell out of it, because he has built something that others need. He's built something that his competitors need. And I'm not even talking about the cars. I'm talking about the batteries that he's built.
Battery Aziz.
Yeah, and all these other guys may be selling EVs, but they're not geniuses that knows what's going on. So, you're going to eventually need to go back to this guy, and there's going to be a lot of begging going on.
Don't forget what's going on in China with these... with the Silk Road Initiative, with the lithium and the cobalt and the debt that they're going to take on to these African countries right now.
And by the way, you know what's about to happen? He said, I don't have a person to say who I'm going to be voting for. I just know I'm not voting for Biden. So when this guy announces who he's voting for in the next 3 months, do you know what's going to happen? It will be bonkers in the next 3 months. And he knows, because Trump is going to work with him when it comes onto Tesla and all this other stuff. And
what a freaking idiot Biden is. He had an EV conference at the White House. Who was suspiciously left out? The #1 EV company in the world, Tesla.
Yeah, because he gave us free speech.
Stupidity because he bought at the highest level.
Yep. Well, they want to destroy him. As soon as he gave us free speech, that's bye-bye.
That was prior to Twitter, though.
What's it?
Prior.
This is what?
Well, they had the meeting at the White House with all the EV people.
This was years ago.
Yeah, got it. Okay, let's talk about a couple other things here. So let's go to... Tom, what else do we have with rates? Let's go to this, because something just happened with Powell. Powell came out yesterday saying looming U.S. election will not sway rate decision, okay? This is a Reuters story. So the looming U.S. presidential election will not influence Federal Reserve interest rate decisions, Federal Chair Powell said on Wednesday, adding that policymakers were at peace with keeping political conversations out of the decision-making process. Powell said Fed policy decisions will be guided by what we think the right thing for the economy is, repeating a long-held stance of ignoring politics in the central bank's economic analysis. If you go down the road, where do you stop? And we're not on that road. We're on the road where we're serving all the American people and making our decisions based on the data and how those data affect the outlook and the balance of risks when it comes to the election. We're at peace over it. We know that we'll do what we think is the right thing to do when we think it's the right thing. So that's Powell. Tom, thoughts on this?
Well, very interesting. So what Powell's talking about is that, hey, I'm not going to be lowering the interest rates because inflation looks like it's heating up. Inflation 3.7, but there are people out there that are saying it's as high as 4% right now when you include energy and the response that oil has had to the wars around the world. And what's very, very interesting, check this out. Since Q4 of 2021, remember inflation went crazy in 22. Since Q4 of 2021, what is the consensus total inflation impact on the basket of goods and groceries?
What is it?
21.2%.
Wow.
Since Q4 of 21. So inflation is down. Yeah, maybe down, but the cumulative effect it's like saying that your brother is now 350 pounds and he's no longer gaining weight. He's still 350 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't go on.
How's your brother doing, though? I mean, is that a personal thing? Or?
No. My brother is fine. But if you had a family member he's not gaining weight anymore, everybody would say, great.
Don't say stuff like that. Like if your brother's dealing with weight issues, why would you announce that?
That's not cool, dude.
My brother's doing great. He rebuilt his house recently. It's really looking good.
Thomas,
I'm sorry about that, bro.
No. But anyway, the whole point is right now, I mean, if you had let's just say you had a friend that had gained weight and they stopped gaining weight, but they're still huge, you're going to have a heart attack, you're going to die. But what Powell is saying is, I can't.
Tom, according to Adam, you can say stuff about Jews.
But don't talk about your brother.
You cannot say stuff about fat
brothers.
People.
I think we should be able to say as much as we want about fat people. People need to be shamed.
So, in all seriousness, and there's also been a lot of layoffs this year, and Powell pointed out that the jobs report, we've lost 1.6 million full-time jobs since the end of third quarter.
I like how you said that like Austin Powers. $1 million.
No, but you know what they've been replaced with? But they've been replaced by part-time jobs. And the people with second jobs, according to the Fed, has now crossed 6.25%. So guess what? Wall Street looks good, ladies and gentlemen, because the layoffs and things allow Wall Street to show profit, and they've raised prices in response to inflation. But Main Street is not having a good time, and Powell says, I'm not going to move the rates. And for all of you people that are thinking, I'm not going to move the rates around the election, I don't think we're going to move the rates more than once this year. That's the story.
That is scary as hell for a lot of people. But not if you're trying to buy a house.
Yay!
Not up in here.
You're trying to buy a house. I think this summer is going to be a good season.
You let me know when.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Pat, because we talked about it in the last podcast, but I connected the dots. I did some research. In Florida, Florida is one of the 3 states that has the highest credit card delinquency rates. And houses are starting to come on the market in Florida. Yeah. And it used to be, I don't want to sell my 3%, my 4% mortgage house and put the money in my pocket and then go buy a house with 7%. Now it's, I'm broke, my credit card is up, I got to get the equity. Hey, honey, maybe we'll sell the house and rent. And so houses are coming on the market in Florida. Inventories come up, and prices are edging down.
I'm buying.
Yeah,
Pat,
I got it.
Wow.
This is not speculation by the BizDoc. This is, I looked at data, and especially in northern Florida, it's also happening. Wow. By the way, it's happening a lot in Austin, and it's happening a lot in South Carolina.
Pat, guess what? You might have a new neighbor soon.
We're seeing it.
You might have a new neighbor soon.
By the way,
come on down, Dougie.
Pat, it's not just, if we want to stay on the economy for a second, it's not just little houses. It's not just little houses.
It's big. That's why I'm going to move next to Pat.
Who loans you money?
No, not.
Who loans you money for a mortgage for a house?
A bank.
A bank. And what if the bank is loaned like a whole bunch of money for people being big giant houses for companies called buildings?
Oh my God. Commercial real estate.
Commercial real estate.
So let's go into that, because I think that's the part I want to go to next. So here's what I want to go to next. All right. So why hundreds of U.S. banks may be at risk of failure. CNBC story. You could see some banks either fail or at least, dip below their minimum capital requirements. Christopher Wolf, managing director and head of North American banks at Fitch Ratings, told CNBC, consulting firms, Claris Group, analyzed about 4,000 U.S. banks. And here we go. Found 282 banks faced the dual threat of commercial real estate loans and potential losses tied to higher interest rates. The majority of these banks are smaller lenders with less than $10 billion in assets. Most of these banks aren't solvent or even close to insolvent. They're just stressed, Brian Graham said. Co-founder and partner of Claris Group told CNBC, that means there will be fewer bank failures, but it doesn't mean that communities and customers don't get hurt by that stress. Tom?
So there is a crisis that's about to happen. And so he's saying, you heard what he said? There'll be fewer bank failures. What do you mean fewer bank failures? That's like saying, hey, when the hurricane just passes by, there'll be less rain, but it's still raining.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Here's a number for you. $962 billion of commercial paper refinancing in the next 18 months, ending around end of second quarter next year. So actually, we're coming up on a year.
12 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 months out. I was thinking since the beginning of this year. $962 billion.
Nah.
Now, if the rates go down, that way they could refinance. Oh, wait a minute. The Fed just said the rates will be higher longer.
Getting warm.
So there may be fewer bank failures, but there's going to be bank failures. There's going to be commercial real estate that goes into receivership. And this isn't going to be like 1928 and the Great Depression, but you're going to see a ton of this stuff, and the big private equity firms and Jamie Dimon are ready for it because their balance sheets are ready to pounce.
And it's interesting that they use that term. They're not going to be insolvent. They're just stressed. So if you ever go to a doctor, they're going to do something called a stress test on you. They do the same thing for banks. Basically, how much money, how much cash reserves do you have in the house? Basically, the FDIC, what is it, $250,000 if you, anything above that. Basically. So I remember when you interviewed your buddy, your good buddy from WAMU.
The best interview ever.
Oh, yes.
I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. He was upset. I was happy about it.
So we've seen
his wife was screaming in the hallway.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? But they couldn't pass the stress test. I think they lost, what, $300 billion?
They went from being a $330 billion company, WAMU, to Chase buying them for $1.9 billion.
Yeah. So that was the biggest bank failure, and that was obviously in 2008 because it was all tied to the mortgage. What was the term that they used for mortgage? Well, no income, no assets, but the toxic mortgage.
Also, mark to market. The value of the assets dropped, and suddenly.
But that was the biggest bank failure in American history. But all the other biggest bank failures we've ever seen in American history were in the last 12 months. Signature Bank, First Republic, Silicon Valley. I think First Republic had $200 billion insolvent. Silicon Valley, another $200 billion. Signature Bank, $100 billion. These banks better be ready to pass the stress test. The first time it was tied to mortgages. Now it's tied to interest rates, correct?
And big commercial property.
Yep.
Yeah. He who has cash right now is in a nice place. He who has cash, he can buy a lot of things for a discount, especially now that inflation is not going lower. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Tom, if all of a sudden unemployment rates climb, just so everybody knows, this is the one thing that Jerome Powell is not going to know how to control. Can you go up to the unemployment rates right now, Rob? Just pull up unemployment rates in the States. Unemployment right now is what?
3.5%.
Is it 3.8%?
Find a chart for me. Find a chart.
Yeah, so right there, 3.8%.
It's creeping back up is the bad thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. By the way, if that thing, you see, it's not staying flat. It's kind of going up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
If that thing, Vinny, goes to 4%, 4.5%, if it goes to 4.5%, if it touches 5%, again, the key word is if. We can put another shirt.
Allegedly.
But allegedly, if it touches 4.5%,
what happens?
You know what happens?
What?
That guy named Jerome Powell has to change his position and actually announce rate increase of a quarter of a basis point to a half a point. Yes or no?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If that thing touches 4.5.
And let's just say, Pat, in the next couple of years, especially with AI taking over and a lot of these people are going to be jobless, that is going to start going up. That's the biggest fear.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying it is going to happen.
The number that they want to keep it under is 5%, correct? But if it goes to 4.5%,
not 4. I don't think it happens at 4.
5.
I think at 4, look, it's only 0.2 away, right?
Yeah.
It goes to 4.
5 is the number that they're trying to keep this bad boy under.
The number. I think if it goes to 4.5, Jerome Powell's going to take a.
Pat, I'm itching for a bet. Because you're going to lose money to me. You're going to lose money to me.
And
do you think it gets to 5?
No.
Okay.
By when?
I was going to take the under.
No.
By the election.
Oh, no.
And by the way, let's keep in mind.
No.
I'm just itching for a bet, guys.
No, I'm just saying AI is going to take a little while, but it's like you said.
You're right.
It's starting to creep up.
You're right.
Because what are those people going to, and then think about what's going to happen to society when all those people start losing jobs and they have no money.
Yeah.
Go think about that.
They're losing jobs now. The numbers behind the numbers on labor is scary. Q4, the net increase in jobs was part-time jobs. More full-time jobs were lost in Q4 than were created. It was a net decrease. The net jobs report in Q4 was part-time jobs. The net job increase in Q1 was part-time jobs. We have lost more full-time jobs than we've created going back to August of last year. So there is a shift that's going on in the labor base underneath, and that is the dirty little secret behind these jobs reports, which are politically driven. But the Fed, in all their footnotes, F-R-E-D, Federal Reserve Economic Data that comes out of St. Louis, they're putting it in the footnotes. It's there in the footnotes, but none of the mainstream media is talking about it. We're losing full-time jobs and replacing it with part-time jobs. McDonald's, as we said on the last podcast, had a tough earnings report and then warned everybody, and by the way, the full impact of $20 minimum wage in select market is going to hit me hard in Q2.
Tom, what was the Fred thing?
Federal Reserve Economic Data out of St. Louis. You can just look it up. It's called Fred. You go Fred data. And
Tom, let me tell you something. You're like Right Said Fred. Your stats are too sexy.
This is it. This is Fred. It's a public website by our federal government.
Yep.
And you would think that they would be hiding in it, but the footnotes are clear.
Too sexy.
All right, let's go to the next one.
We're just not talking about it.
This next one here is slightly different, whether it's unemployment or inflation. Boxer Ryan Garcia tests positive for banned substance. Okay, this came out last night out of nowhere. Star boxer Ryan Garcia tested positive for the performance-enhancing substance Ostarine the day before and the day of his upset win over Devin Haney last month, per voluntary anti-doping association letter sent to all parties Wednesday and obtained by ESPN. The urine samples were collected prior to the fight, but the results weren't known until later. Garcia has 10 days to request that his B sample be tested. Garcia's A sample has screened positive for 19 norendrosterone, but its presence, it's unconfirmed until further lab analysis. Ostarine is a selective androgen receptor modulator that attaches to proteins in the body and effectively tells muscles to grow. It is used to aid performance by helping athletes build muscle mass and enhance their rate of fat loss, and also increase stamina and recovery. And this is what Ryan had to say right afterwards. Go for it.
What's up, everybody? I came on here to address this bull fucking shit claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I don't cheat. What can I say? You know, why didn't they come out with this before, you know, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with the victory and then they post this, you know? Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken a steroid in my life. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day. I barely, you know, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha. That's fucking retarded. So, at the end of the day, big lies. I beat his ass. Fuck out of here. Everybody go to Warwick tonight. It's lit.
And I was with this guy every.
That's great. I love how.
Fuck the Heinies.
Can you go to Twitter as well for his follow-up tweets?
I love him.
Yeah.
Ryan.
The most unpredictable.
It takes him a while to warm up, but then he says what's on his mind.
By the way, and I mean, it's kind of weird before, like, as he's about to show up, PBD, it's weird. Like, you know, they have the Pelosi tracker. Every time Nancy Pelosi touches a stock or she thought it automatically goes up. Right? It's weird. Well, what I'm saying is, like, think about this with him. Anybody that goes and says publicly they love Trump, notice how all of a sudden something bad happens to you, your career, your name. It's so weird because, like, by the way, you know, a piss test comes back like that. That's why they wait till right now to come after him. That's ridiculous.
Rob, go a little lower where he says that on the. Let's see what he says right after the video he posts. Let's just see what he tweeted. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down.
Did he
right above the video? Right above the video. So there's a video. Go to the top. So I need more steroids. I'm addicted. Okay, so then next, I find out who create this lie. Now I'm going to release everyone's. Okay, time to expose. Okay, next. Real snakes. The glove does not fit. Next. I'm seen with Trump, and now I'm positive.
Oh, weird. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Keep going. Next. Okay, if I took the steroids, then I'm for sure gay. Go next. They're trying to take my greatest victory away. Kind of sad when you think about it. I don't care. I love God, and He'll make it right. Next is, I'm going to rematch him. I beat him easy, fair and square. But go to Gervonta Davis, because even Gervonta Davis responded to this, saying
Gervonta's the guy that beat him last time.
Tank.
Like 6 months ago or a year ago.
So zoom in a little bit on what he says. Keep going a little lower, because he says something about this. He commented about this. Go lower. See if you find it. April 30th. No, then he doesn't have.
I want to know what Devin Haney had to say about this.
Yeah,
of course he's going to say something negative.
Gervonta said the fact that, you know, this is suspicious what they're doing to him. It's kind of weird that they're saying he's doing steroids now. But go to Devin Haney's comments. Devin Haney specifically said, Gervonta Davis on Ryan Garcia. There's a part where Devin Haney made a comment, like literally, they made a statement, a comment. So Gervonta Davis said the following. I just found it. He said, Gervonta Davis called that Eddie Hearn. Yeah, so Gervonta Davis is saying Eddie Hearn is behind this. And remember, Eddie Hearn is the guy that Ryan Garcia's father went up to after the fight.
The guy from England?
Yeah, so in response to Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis came out swinging, expressing his support for Garcia and calling out repercussions against promoter Eddie Hearn. Davis took to social media to voice his outrage at the attempt to discredit Garcia's victory over Devin Haney, bluntly stating, "They doing anything to take away the win from Ryan." In a show of solidarity with his fellow boxer, Davis condemned what is perceived as a concerted effort to undermine his achievements. This is Gervonta. So, however, Davis didn't stop there. In a scathing rebuke directed at promoter Devin Haney, Davis minced no words, calling for drastic action in response for the controversy. If that's the case, banned Eddie Hearn, silver spoon ass, Davis claims, suggesting that Hearn should face consequences if the allegations against Garcia are indeed proven false. I mean, that's pretty... Davis has Tank has nothing to gain from saying something like this.
Absolutely not.
Nothing to gain from saying something like this. And then Devin Haney responds back on Ryan Garcia. Rob, if you got that, it's a whole statement on what they said. They said, "We learned about this situation not too long ago, and it's unfortunate Ryan cheated and disrespected both the fans and the sports of boxing by fighting dirty and breaking positive, not once but twice. This puts the fight in a complete different light." He says, "Our lives are on the line when we're fighting, et cetera, et cetera." So that's the angle Devin Haney is taking. Is that the one? I've always been an advocate of clean fighting, and this is an example of such. Ryan owes the fans an apology, and by his recent tweet, he still thinks this is a joke. We put our lives on the line to entertain people. You don't play boxing. This puts the fight in a completely different light. Despite this disadvantage, I still fought on my shield and got back up. People die in this sport. This isn't a joking matter.
Okay, that's somebody that got their ass whooped.
No, that sounds like a lawyer wrote that.
Yeah, basically. Well, I was just going to say, he did not write that, but that sounds like a guy that got his ass whooped and wants to take any of that sting away from it. Bro, he got manhandled in that ring, and Ryan's not going to fight that guy again. Ryan's moving on. Ryan's moving on to the next
Here's
fight.
what I've learned about Ryan Garcia. Number one, he's taken the Trump playbook. Rigged election, rigged fight. What's the quote that he just put out there? Basically, they're trying to take this away from me, just like they're taking this down to Donald Trump. He's tying his name to the biggest brand in the world, potentially.
He was hanging
Donald
out
Trump.
He was hanging out with him.
Exactly. It's a rigged election. Obviously, he knows he was
the
at
video
Mar-a-Lago.
of him boxing in front of Trump.
Respect to you on that, Ryan. Ryan is arguably the number one troll in the world right now. There he is right now. We've talked about trolls. We've talked about Elon. We've talked about Jake Paul. Look at this. In front of Trump.
Look at Barron on the
line. But to knock Barron out real quick.
Dude, look at this guy.
He's fast, dude. But, there's a famous saying in media, and it came from the one and only P.T. Barnum and Bailey. Say whatever you want about me, just spell my name right. And what's Barnum and Bailey? The greatest show on earth. Ryan Garcia. His name, how much was his name mentioned a year ago? Minimal. We knew who he was. We talk about Canelo more than we talk about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has taken a page from the playbook of Donald Trump, brilliant marketer, and P.T. Barnum and Bailey, the circus, the greatest show on earth. He says, say whatever you want about me, just spell my mother flipping name right.
By the way, look how close his fist is to Donald Trump's chin. We're Secret Service probably like, yo. He might have from your. Well, look at Donald Trump's fist is getting a little bit tightened up.
I heard his fist was a little orange.
By the way, did you guys forget about this right here? Right? I mean, obviously they're going to go through the process, and we'll find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened with De La Hoya and Canelo yesterday?
No.
Tell me you guys didn't see. Oh, this was great because we're going to see it together for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, you didn't see it.
Nope.
De La Hoya, there's a big fight coming up. It's a real fight. This other guy can actually beat him, okay? It can actually beat Canelo. During the fight, Rob, if you can, I just texted it to you. During the press conference, De La Hoya is going up to call the fight and, say what he says about his fighter that he's representing. He decides to say that every success Canelo's had is because of Golden Boy. If it wasn't for him, and it got so ugly that Canelo was ready to throw that.
Who's Canelo with?
Canelo left Golden Boy, Oscar, and told Ryan Garcia to never trust Oscar.
Wow.
And then later on, you have to hear what Canelo says in Spanish.
Oh, I can't wait.
He says it in front of the boxer that De La Hoya is representing. He's telling the other boxer, saying, Look, mijo, whatever you're doing, just make sure your lawyers watch everything because that guy steals from everybody. Play this clip. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The company you fought under for decades has always had one name, and it's mine. So put some fucking respect on it.
Golden boy.
Remember when Jaime was 21 years old,
Look what he's saying to him.
volunteered to step in against Triple G, and Canelo failed 2 drug tests? Though Jaime wasn't allowed to fulfill his dream, 2018, on Saturday night, he will do just that. Fulfill his dream and be world champion.
Tienen que escribirle lo que tiene que decir este pinche maricón, cabrón. Tú lo escribes. ¿Qué lo escribes, pendejo? Tú no escribes nada, cabrón. Tú no haces nada. Tú no haces nada.
Yo lo escribí.
Eres un pendejo, eso es lo que eres.
That's the box.
Oh, yo no pendejo.
Cabrón, porque están nomás ahí.
Cabrón,
los que hacen
pendejo.
todos son los que están detrás de ti. Tú eres un pendejo nomás con la imagen, idiota.
Sí.
Oh, you have to hear the translation of what Canelo said.
Tom, what is he saying?
No, not even this part. Canelo, what he said.
You know, the pendejo cabrón, that's not good.
No, of course.
Okay.
Of course. But
So the first part was, I disagree with you, my fine man. Can you please
this is it. I found it.
retract your previous statement?
Rob, let me send this to you. Rob, play this clip. Oh, man. And by the way, this guy, Canelo, says the nicest things about the fighter. He says, just watch out. He's going to steal from you.
That's it. Okay.
He tells him to watch out. Oscar could steal from you. Okay. So play this clip, Rob. And it's the English is there, the bottom one.
Oh, the sub.
Watch this one here, okay?
I think he said something along the lines like, I've seen you in a G-string.
Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit and see if you have the audio. Go back from the beginning, Rob. Watch it.
Imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine
Rob, so I
siendo
can read it for
Canelo.
Spotify podcast people. And for this imbecile of a person to my left.
Imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide.
Don't forget that I was already Canelo in the U.S. He only profited from my name. We never lost a penny. We only made money. Did you already pay Golovkin what you wanted to steal from him? Yes? Very good. But if my lawyers didn't get involved, you would have stolen it. The only thing this man does is scam boxing.
Wow.
He steals from boxers. Those who are with him should lawyer up because he's stealing from them.
Wow.
And he's only here to steal attention from Jaime Munguia. He's not here to promote him. I mean, this is, by the way,
them fighting words.
Yeah. So he represented Canelo for many years.
Yeah.
He was Golden Boy.
He was Golden Boy. Ryan's Golden Boy. Everybody was Golden Boy.
So
that is not trash talking. Now that is testimony.
How credible is this? You've seen some of these rumors about
you
De La Hoya.
You talk to Hispanics. That's who you got to talk. Text Ricky. After this, text Ricky and just ask.
Ricky still owes me $500. That guy
does he really?
He has no credibility here.
Ricky.
You try to pay me in pennies, pendejo.
¿Qué pasó, man?
Tom, what do you think when you hear this, Tom?
I think that Adam shouldn't say things like that about Ricky.
Because like two of us is scared of somebody.
No,
pendejo.
I'm not scared of Ricky. I just respect his work as a dentist, and he could do some work on you.
I'm more scared of Pretty Ricky than I am of Ricky.
Yeah.
No, what do I think?
Baby,
honestly, I think this was not trash talking. This was not trash talking. I said a minute ago, that wasn't trash talking. That was like, you come over here and tell me you It wasn't something like that.
No.
He was laying out testimony.
Seriously.
And he wasn't saying, hey, you're a jerk. And he was telling them, lawyer up. Go find the money. I found money. My lawyers made sure this other guy got paid. Lawyer up. Go find the money. Whenever someone lays it out like that, PBD, I tend to think, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think there's something there. And he's very, very clearly not laying out a criticism. He's laying out a challenge. So what if all those boxers get lawyers and say, hey, I checked everything. Everything was clean. Everything was clean with Golden Boy Productions. This all worked out. That's all De La Hoya has to do, isn't it? But if those boxers go get lawyers and then find out, guess what? I was missing something from my last fight. I got it back. Guess what? The guy to lose something here is De La Hoya.
Right. I want to bring it back to Garcia, to Ryan. What was his experience with this? Did he get paid? Did he get ripped off by De La Hoya? What was it? What did he have to say about that?
Well, the first time Ryan was on the podcast, he didn't have, too many good things to say about Oscar.
Can I say one thing, though?
Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I'll do it
Canelo
anyway.
needs to be careful because I don't know if you guys have seen photos of Oscar De La Rob, can you show? Like this looks like a guy that will whoop your ass and then stand over you in a fishnet and be like, "Yo, I did this."
Why are you gonna try my guy?
By the way, I'm going to tell you this. Okay,
I mean,
that guy's a stud.
Hey,
this was a picture that Paul Pelosi had in his phone.
By the way,
listen.
For what it's worth, have you actually gone back and watched his fight with Mayweather?
Him with Mayweather?
Have you watched the fight with him and Mayweather?
Not recently. I watched him with Tito Ortiz.
Obviously, I don't care about the cocaine, all that. He openly talks about the mistakes he's made, whatever, right? I'm going to tell you, go watch the Mayweather fight with De La Hoya.
Was it only one fight?
Yeah, they only had one fight.
Okay.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
This guy,
he's a beast,
was no joke, ridiculous.
Oh, he's a nasty
He
fighter.
was, but in an interview, he asked, in an interview, he was asked about, well, listen, for what it's worth, he is, if Oscar asked if he fought Canelo, who would win? Okay, have you seen this interview? It's a short clip where he's being asked, and the way he answers it, okay? Oscar asked, he says, is this the one? Yeah, no, he says, if I were to fight Canelo, he says, I would beat Canelo and it wouldn't even be close.
Like now?
No, he said at his prime versus his prime, he says, and it wouldn't even be close. So look, I mean, these are the types of comments you make that you're going to piss off a guy like Canelo, who is like the face right now, and they're going to go back and forth. But anytime you want to know within the Hispanic Mexican community, specifically Mexican community, because this is what Canelo said is, what I love about this is that two Mexicans are going to be fighting on the day, right? Yeah. Which is always, you want that fight. It's the Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Cinco de Mayo.
It's going to be an awesome fight is what it is, right? So there's a part of it that people are looking forward to it, and Canelo is really the face of true Mexican fighters today. It's Canelo.
It's him.
Canelo speaks to that community. Anyways.
When all is said and done.
There's always been 3 Oscar De La Hoyas. One of the most gifted technical boxers of all time.
Beautiful fighter. I mean, just watching the fight was insane.
And
Trinidad, I saw
the
that
man fight. After the fighting, an athlete trying to find his way and getting himself in sideways a couple of things. And then finally, the promoter. Those are the 3 Oscars. Yeah. And Oscar the promoter gets a lot of criticism. Oscar the boxer gets zero criticism. One of the most gifted, amazing technical boxers you ever see.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And by the way, guess what he's doing right now? He's making us talk. Right? Yep. There's a part of it that is making us talk as well. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sell tickets. Because guess what this is going to do to me?
Now I want to watch the fight on Saturday. Because of what you just did, I want to watch on Saturday.
Bro, we probably just sold 10,000 pay-per-views right now. So, but he probably just sold a ton of pay-per-view. The point is, there's an element of this madness that is not necessarily, like Ryan was doing stuff, you're like, what the hell is he doing? Yeah. There's a little bit of madness to promoting that you got to also kind of. It's like when some people are very good at talking dirty. Like let's just say, like it's okay. Someone's like, hey, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. There's like a gift to it, right? That you kind of go through.
One of the frameworks of leadership is madness.
Pat,
it is true from dirty. SLS.
If Canelo continues down this path and Garcia continues down this path, legacy-wise, who will be known as, of those 3 guys that we just discussed, the greatest Hispanic boxer of the generation? Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, or Jose De La Hoya? Because I think
Jose De La Hoya. Jose is like Oscar's cousin.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Mira, Jose De La Hoya.
Man,
he's offended right now. He's in Michoacan. Right? He's coming right out of the
Lo siento, mi amigos de Hispánica. Who would it be?
Well, Ryan's still young.
I'm saying if he continued down this path,
was a flyweight.
De La Hoya, Canelo, Ryan Garcia. Who's going to be 1, 2, 3 legacy-wise?
I think, honestly, if you ask me today, I hate that people are not going to like my answers. Today, I'll write mine down. Everybody write yours down.
Wait, but you can't.
Rob, why don't you put it down on a poll as well? I'm going to give you mine.
What is it, Adam? What's the question one more time?
Of the 3 boxers we just discussed, Oscar De La Hoya, not Jose, Canelo Alvarez, and Ryan Garcia, our friend.
Yeah.
Who will go down legacy-wise of the greatest of those 3?
Career's not over yet. Today.
No. Legacy.
Legacy, same.
In 10 years from now.
I don't know. What,
okay.
The way you do it is today. If you rank the 3 today.
Oh, if you rank them today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have mine. It'd be Oscar's legacy. It'd be Canelo second. Ryan's too young. Ryan hasn't.
That's exactly what I have.
Ryan's.
I have Oscar, Canelo, Ryan today.
I'm saying when all is said and done.
If Ryan goes back.
It's like saying Who will be known as the greatest of all time? LeBron, Giannis, or Luka? Yeah. Right?
Okay, I got to go to a flight.
We got to do it. But you got to give props to Oscar of what he built and what boxing was and what his personality and performance did to that sport and for the Mexican-American community. It was incredible. There's like 5 angles on there that was the
I'll give you one last
beauty
angle.
of ODH.
Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo, none of them get eyeballs like Ryan Garcia has learned to do. Number 1 troll in the world, greatest show in boxing at this point. And he's just getting started.
I'm just getting
We're the intention economy, and he's doing it.
But by the way, what is the biggest top 10? Look, watch this. Pull up top 10 biggest pay-per-view boxing fights of all time. I'm assuming Tyson's going to be 10 of them.
Well, I was going to say, what about Oscar?
All right, watch this.
Mayweather and
that's exactly what I'm trying to find. So number 10 is Tyson Roy Jones. What? That fight? The fake fight. Mayweather Cotto's 9. Tyson McNeely. Holyfield Tyson 2. Gervonta Davis Ryan Garcia 6. Okay? 5 is Lennox Lewis Tyson. Ready for all top 4? Top 4 biggest pay-per-view buys ever in history of boxing. Number 4, Mayweather De La Hoya. Number 3, Mayweather Canelo. Number 2, Mayweather Conor. And number 1, Mayweather Pacquiao. Wow. So guess what? Ryan is on there with Davis, but they came to watch Ryan on that one.
Yeah.
I would say it's 50. And when they fought Mayweather De La Hoya, they probably came to watch Mayweather. So Ryan's on that list, and there's none of the top 10 is Canelo, not one.
Correct.
So, hey, listen, Ryan's on track to be there. Ryan's just got to make sure the next few fights he's able to promote him, but he's up there. Mayweather, it's a sweep. Mayweather's top 4 for 4.
Floyd money Mayweather for a reason.
You ready for the dollar amount? Check this out. I'll give you the dollar amount. So read it right there. Tyson Roy Jones, 80 million. Floyd Mayweather Cotto, 94. Tyson McNeely, 96. Holyfield Tyson, 100. Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, 102. Lennox Lewis Tyson, 112. Mayweather De La Hoya, 136. Mayweather Canelo, 150. Mayweather Conor, 396. Mayweather Pacquiao, 400.
And don't forget, one last thing. Of every single boxer we just named, including all the greats, who's the only one who's undefeated?
Floyd.
Money Mayweather.
So there you go, man.
Gotta give him respect.
Gotta give him
Put some
props.
respect
Anyway,
on his name.
All right, so gang, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Derby. Enjoy the fight. Enjoy, I think also Formula One Miami is going on as well.
Yeah,
F1 in Miami.
They're here this weekend.
This is a wild weekend. Have a great weekend. Shout out to Mario Aguilar upstairs.
Mario's
is
birthday.
turning 37 years old. If you know Mario Aguilar personally, send him a text, DM him, Instagram. He's on Manect. Mario Aguilar. Wish him a happy birthday. 37 years old today. And you got a Saucecast going on.
Saucecast today, 4 p.m. All about the money, crypto, Bitcoin. Jordan Welch will be on. Rand Nooner will be on. All about the money.
Tune in. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got betdavid? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to haters. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
For 2 days.
You want to know the
and
truth?
Santiago was going home for the rest of his life, and he doesn't pack.
Tom, that podcast is live. Just so you know, folks, that's Tom Ellsworth, and he's had his coffee this morning. What a wait. First thing they're going to hear is you lit up.
Do you know the scene we're talking about, Feel Good Man?
I hated that movie.
Really?
Nah, yeah.
Did you really?
I can't watch Tom Cruise.
You got to be the only person that hated that movie. Well, maybe
you got beef with Tom Cruise all of a sudden?
I just can't watch Tom Cruise.
Oh, my God.
What?
Stop it.
Get into that later.
Stop it.
It's like Kevin Costner.
Top Gun. Now you have beef with Kevin Costner. Joe Walsh, what do you stand for at this point? You're un-American.
Today, our guest today is Representative Joe Walsh. He's written a book. What is the book's title, by the way? It's a very diplomatic title. What is the title? Can you tell me the title, Adam? I'm trying to see.
I know it starts with a word I've never used. I think it's F, the F word, right? I've never used that word before in my life. Tyler?
It's called, can you tell us what the title is? Calling Out Trump.
F silence.
F silence is the name of the book.
Yeah. So
calling Trump out for his cultish, moronic, authoritarian con man he is.
Boom.
Former presidential candidate 2020.
Yeah.
He went from voting for Trump to voting for Biden and not supporting Trump. He's been all over the place. He's not afraid to get in a mix and, rile things up. Illinois 8th District Congressman. Also got a podcast called White Flag with Joe Walsh, as well as same title as your book that you got there as well. Okay. Few things you've said. I just want to kind of preface the podcast so they know some of your famous quotes, okay? Yeah. This guy in the White House stands for everything I'm against, okay? And you were talking about Trump, not Biden. Trump is a narcissist, okay? Obama is a Muslim. Now, he said that years ago, and then you had to kind of backtrack a little bit. Yeah. Every time Trump opens his mouth, he lies.
Yeah.
I know DeSantis, deep down inside, he's not a Trumper. If Donald Trump runs for president, no Republican will challenge him for nomination. The Republican Party is a cult. Donald Trump is a horrible person. So in other words, you don't say controversial stuff a lot. You're very diplomatic and chill and easygoing. So now that you know who he is, Joe, great to have you on the podcast.
It's an honor to be here with both you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, it's great to have you on, man.
And Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Now we know Tom knows one-liners from movies.
And other places.
Specifically,
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. So, for the audience that doesn't know, maybe, give a little bit about your background on, what you did, you ran, why you supported Trump, why you turned against him, and then why you supported Biden and where you are today.
So it's a weird... Do I need to watch my language?
Not at all.
Joe, you've never watched your language. Why start today? You're 60 years old. Why start now?
What a stupid question. It's a weird fucking journey that nobody else has been on. I got elected to Congress. I was the big Tea Party guy. I went there and I raised hell. I'm still a Tea Party guy. I left Congress. I got booted out of Congress. I voted for Trump in 2016 because I knew why people in this country were pissed off. Because both parties suck. Our politics is broken. Government's too fucking big. So I understood why Trump got elected, right? And I voted for him because of that. His people were my people. He gets elected. I start to pay attention to him, and I realize he's an utterly corrupt, criminal, horrible human being. At the time, I'm on the radio when Trump gets elected, 200 stations all over the country. I'm on Fox News every day, and I begin to speak against Trump. And when you do that as a Republican back then, you're done. So within a couple years, I was done because I just said I couldn't support this. And then I dedicated myself to doing everything I can to defeat him. And I voted for a Democrat for the first time in my fucking life in 2020. Not because I like Biden. He's too old. I don't agree with his policies. But to me, Trump's a danger. So I'm a politically homeless, still conservative, who just can't stand where my former political party is right now.
Do you regret voting for Biden?
No. Gosh, no. Not at all. Yeah.
You don't regret voting for Biden?
Well, yeah, it was an easy vote because, and you may disagree with me, Patrick, but I consider Trump to be an existential threat. So if you're like me and you think that, you got to vote for the only person who can beat him, even if you don't like him.
So let me ask you, what was the tipping point for you? What did Trump do for you to say, I don't like this guy, boom, I'm flipping?
I screwed up in 2016 because I didn't pay attention to him.
What do you mean you didn't pay attention? How could you not pay attention to the guy? He sucked all the oxygen out of the room. You were paying attention.
No.
Maybe you chose not to pay attention?
I chose not to.
Okay.
I didn't like him as a man, but I really didn't know that much about him. I never watched The Apprentice. But again, remember, I'm a big conservative voice. I'm on the radio all over the country. I can see he's going to win the Republican nomination. All my listeners are supporting him. I'm with my listeners in what we need. But I really didn't take him seriously. And by the way, that was a shitty job of mine. I should have. Once he got elected and I started to pay attention to him, and I realized that he lies every fucking time he opens his mouth. And it to me, it didn't seem like he had the interest of the country he didn't care about the country. He only cared about him. The final straw was Helsinki, the summer of 2018, when Donald Trump stood in front of the fucking world and said, I'm with Putin. My own people can go jump. I went on the radio that night and I said, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he's not reelected. And the minute that happened, I began to lose my radio show.
So you said you weren't paying
Helsinki was the final straw.
You said you weren't paying attention to him, but rolling up to the election, certainly you knew after he got because right before the election, the turning point for me of realizing how serious it wasn't that he won the nomination.
Yeah.
What was the contrast, and it wasn't Fox, it was all networks, the contrast between the crowds that Hillary was pulling and the crowds that Trump was pulling. It was crazy. And at that point, my switch flipped in terms of my, not supporting or not supporting, but my switch flipped on my Vegas odds making side of my brain. They're like, wow, this guy could do it. I don't think he will. I think there's too much of a machine with Hillary, but he could do it because I was looking at voter enthusiasm. What was your turning point coming up to the election where you say this might happen? When you say you weren't paying attention to him.
And again, it's all relative. Like I didn't pay a lot of attention to specifically him. Obviously, I'm a major political figure at the time, so I'm paying attention to the fucking race. I knew at the first Republican debate that Trump was going to win the nomination. When Donald Trump stood up and did his thing, and you had, look, guys, I don't come from the Republican establishment. I'm a Tea Party hellraiser. And you had Jeb up on that stage.
Looking like yesterday's lunch.
Yeah.
No inspiration whatsoever.
Yeah, Jeb and Marco and all these guys up on stage sounding like just fucking politicians. And Trump gets up there and says, I'm going to build a fucking wall. I'm keeping these people out, blah, blah, blah. And he's throwing insults at people. And all the Republican establishment people were telling me that's horrible. We cannot nominate this guy. But everybody who called into my radio show said, Joe, it's about fucking time. I knew then Trump was going to win the nomination. I think I knew a couple months before the general election that he was going to beat Hillary because Hillary sucked. Hillary was the poster child. Look, we live in a populist moment, guys. Americans are rightly pissed off at our politics. Hillary was the poster child for establishment politics. I knew he was going to win 2 minutes before. I felt like 2 months before. I felt like he could.
Yeah, that's interesting. So 2018, when did they start talking about the Russia hoax? When did that start? That started right off the bat. No, 2016. Immediately. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So
that was a disappointment too.
Yeah. So did that at all? Were you ever like, if somebody were to go audit to see all your recording on the radio, would there ever find a time that you believe the Russia hoax was taking place? Did you ever buy into that?
No.
Like, let's just say we do an audit right now, and it comes back and it says, here's what Joe Walsh said about Russiagate. He believed it. He said, yeah, he collusion. We should put him in jail. We should impeach them. Would any of those snippets be found of you saying that?
No. Well, I actually don't know where the question's coming from because I believe, and I think it's fact, that Russia fucked with our election in 2016 to help get Trump elected. I think that's obvious. And after Trump won in 2016, and then it became public, like Russia did this, Trump's first instinct was to get pissed off about it. Trump just got fucking elected. And our intelligence people come out with, everybody around Trump knows that Russia fucked with that election to help get Trump elected. The only one who couldn't admit that is Trump.
Stop saying that. Stop.
It's true.
Stop. You can't say that. So okay.
Well, I just did.
But I know you can say that, but it doesn't mean it makes it true. You can say that and make a statement like that.
Just to interject, there's two separate things you're talking about. Yeah. Did Russia meddle in the election with bots and Twitter? That is separate. Did Trump collude with Russia? Because those are two separate things. Did Russia have bots and Twitter and all? Yes. Did Trump collude? That's a separate question. And that's essentially what Pat's saying. He's saying that's what was marketed, but that wasn't true.
But is Pat acknowledging that Russia fucked in the election? Do you believe
I
that?
will acknowledge that U.S. has participated in every election they can in the world, and I would acknowledge that China, Russia, and any major empire in America, in the world, has been involved in other elections. I would say everybody does that. So what that means doesn't give your statement a lot of credibility. What I will say is the following. Was there ever a time where you tried to get closer with Trump to get a job on his administration, or you wanted to meet with him, or you wanted to have any kind of a, hey, why don't you come on my radio show? And he turned you down multiple times, or he didn't offer a job where you got offended. Were you ever offended?
There was a time, because remember, Pat, I'm like I'm a conservative. I'm not a Republican establishment type.
Your Tea Party, Michelle Bachmann, like your Tea Party.
Bachmann, me.
Yeah.
I mean, we.
Justin Amash.
Yeah.
Alan West, Justin Amash.
Yep.
We were the guys. Yes.
But the problem is, you guys are like fossils at this point because you're like.
But I want to hear his answer. I want to hear his answer. I want to hear his answer.
So look.
When I said, let me remind you again.
Yeah.
I asked, were you ever offended because he didn't give you any job on his administration or didn't want to get on your show? Was there anything behind closed doors that he didn't keep his promise to you that offended you to say, if you don't do this, I'm going to turn against you, and you did?
Two things.
Yeah.
You're clearly thinking of something, so I can't wait to hear it. And just, again, I apologize because I've said a gazillion fucking things, and I've probably forgotten half of what I said. I remember wanting him to succeed. I remember having friends in the administration, and when he first got elected, and Sean Spicer was just a piece of shit, and he sends Spicer out there to lie every fucking day. I remember talking to a few people saying, my God, Trump needs an honest, good, tough spokesperson. So I'll become Trump's spokesperson. I forgot who I said that to, but early on in the administration, I said it would be great to be that for Trump. That's the only one I think I can remember. But yeah, initially, because I knew why Trump got elected. His people were my people. I wanted him to succeed.
Yeah, but so then that reveals something. So because...
But that doesn't impact at all.
Give me a break, Joe. So,
fuck no! Don't give me a break.
Yeah.
I've been through fucking hell.
I
say what I believe.
By choice, though.
Exactly.
You chose to do this. It's not like nobody forced you. This is America. Nobody can force you to.
No, I chose to do what I did.
And your choice was, hey, I think, because what I think of you, I think of Mooch. And Mooch is a friend. I like Mooch. Mooch and I have spent time, and we've had him on, but... Similar situation. Maybe Mooch did get the job and you didn't get the job, but you got the job. And then, 11 days later and 7 days later. And that's Trump's challenge.
You're talking about Scaramucci.
Yeah, of course. He knows what I'm talking about. So, all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're fired. I mean, that's a public humiliation when you do that. Trump could have handled that in a very different way. To fire a guy that quickly after you hired him, there is responsibility in the person who hired. So, if you fire somebody that quickly, you didn't do enough due diligence to hire the person initially. So there's responsibility on both sides. But, there are a lot of people on both ends of the aisle, on the left and the right. A lot of times when somebody flips on Biden or you flip on Obama or you flip on Bush or Trump or whoever, behind closed doors, there was conversation to say, hey, if you back me up, I'm going to figure out a way to get you a job. Wink, wink. And then they don't. No. And then you're like flipping out saying, I can't believe you didn't do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. So those are the types of stories that the public never knows about. We don't know about. I'm not telling you there's credibility behind my...
No, there's not.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, by the way, just so you know, Pat, everybody in my position who came out and said, I'm against Trump, they did it for their own reasons. Maybe some people did it for money, for a gig, for a job. I don't know why Mooch did what he did. I'm telling you that when I came out 5 years ago and said I can't support this, I did it for no other reason than I believe that.
That can't be possible.
Bullshit.
Can't be possible.
Bullshit.
You ran 2 years later for president. That can't be possible. You're a smart guy.
I ran against
That's
him,
the point. So that's the point. So you have to come out 5 years ago to go and say, I can't stand this because you're thinking the Republican Party is divided and you're thinking you're going to get the side that's against Trump.
No, that's wrong.
Which part is wrong?
I never said, and I don't believe the Republican Party is divided. It's never been divided. It's Trump's party.
Wait a minute.
I've acknowledged that publicly. By the way, can I hear myself a little bit more?
Yeah.
Because I'm an old man and I'm
Lincoln
deaf.
Project. So go to Lincoln Project.
Talk to the Lincoln Project people.
Yeah, but
they're not me.
I'm not saying you're Lincoln Project.
Of course not.
But the Lincoln Project people are against Trump, and that was a community that some people banked on. They said, okay, if I think
it wasn't my community.
Well,
the Lincoln
it's more your community.
I've got nothing to do with it.
It's more your community than MAGA.
No, they don't. No, well, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. Guys, this is a big, diverse world. A lot of people support Trump for a lot of reasons. A lot of people oppose him for a lot of reasons. I don't do anything with the Lincoln Project. And by the way, some of those guys have enriched themselves. Look at my tax returns. I have not, Pat, let me just get this out of the fucking way now, because I've been through fucking hell for 5 years.
By choice.
And no fucking regrets.
Yeah.
And I would do it again. And look, my friend, you can disagree with what I did and everything I've said, but no regrets. I did what I believed, okay? But when I did that, I knew I was going to lose everything. And
did you though?
I did. Yes. Yes. I lost my radio show. I lost my livelihood. I lost my source of income. I lost, let me continue and then jump on me. I lost any hope of a future in the Republican Party. I lost ever being on Fox News again. And I've received death threats on a weekly basis because of what I did.
You don't sound like a dumb guy, so I have a hard time buying that.
I'm not.
You don't sound like a. You don't. Let me just give you my position. Though. I'll give it to you. I'll tell you exactly my position. And by the way, you're on a podcast where we talk. You can push back. You can call me out.
No, we're already doing it. Pat. I'm enjoying this. I fucking like this.
Yeah. So this is how
I like this.
This is why we shut the close. So you can't even run out. By the way, we got security out there. You're not going to leave this freaking.
You're
vault.
like an S&M guy.
But let me say this to him. Okay. There is no way I sit there and I listen to a brain that works as fast as yours does. You're witty. You're going. You're not dumb. Okay. So set that aside. So the dumb part's not aside. But maybe the strategy you took.
There was no strategy.
Wasn't the best strategy.
Hello.
Yeah, I agree.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
Financially and every other which way, it was a stupid thing to do. But I did it, my friend. Adam, I don't know why this is hard. And maybe you just don't believe this. I did it because I believed it was the right thing to do. Why is that? Can't
You're saying there was no strategy, you just went with your gut?
Completely.
Okay, but you're also saying that you have no regrets.
None.
You must have some regrets, Joe.
Doubts, no regrets. No, I mean, Adam, what am I going to say? Yeah, I took a big hit. I could be back in Congress. I could have a show on Fox News. I'd be on 500 radio stations around the country. By the way, Pat and Adam, in my position, the easiest fucking thing to do is to say every day that Donald Trump walks on water. If all you care about is clicks, ratings, getting elected, that's the easiest thing to do. I couldn't do that because I just didn't believe it. That's all, Adam. That's all.
Yeah, I think sometimes for all of us, everybody, sometimes the masses can confuse you. Sometimes the masses make you think you're wrong. And it's very, very hard to stand up against masses. The masses can get up and they can say, let me tell you who this person really is. And you're kind of sitting there saying, I don't know if that guy's that guy. Let me tell you who this person is. After a million times of saying that, you may sit there and say, maybe I'm the dummy. Maybe that guy is really a bad person. And then you get recruited into the masses. The hardest thing to do in life is to not get recruited into the masses. It's one of the hardest things you can do because you're alone. You have to stand alone. And that is not easy to do. So during that time, you are not the only person that did what they did. There's a lot of people that did what they did, that turned against this guy. And then when the Durham report came out, they're like, oh, shit. Okay, so I got to spin this and I got to say, we know Russia was involved in the election. Yeah, they've always been involved.
Can I make one correction to what you just said?
Go for it.
I don't know of anybody else who came from the hardcore mega Tea Party world, high-profile guy like me who left that world.
Justin Amash?
Justin Amash
bailed in 2017.
Hold on. Justin Amash never voted for Trump. Justin Amash never supported Trump. I supported Trump, voted for him, and cheerleaded for him during that. I love Justin. Justin.
Isn't he a libertarian today?
Yeah.
He's a libertarian.
Yeah. But finish your point. You were making a point before.
Yeah, he left the Republican Party. But Justin, to his credit, was a never Trumper from the beginning. All these Lincoln Project guys and most of these never Trumpers, they were never hardcore mega Tea Party Trump supporters to begin with. I left that world. I don't know of anybody else who did that. That's all.
Pat, essentially what Joe's saying
that he's not buying.
No, I don't know if he's not buying it. I think he's just pushing back, and this is fun. I think we're all having fun here right now.
Yes.
I think you are having fun in a weird way.
No, not weird. We need more of this, by the way.
Pat, my question to you is, Joe's saying he went with what he believed in.
Yeah.
And there's a level of respect to that. But what should he have done? Looking back in hindsight, if he truly thinks that Trump is a narcissist, con man, psychopath, all the words you've used, what should he have done? Should he have just like towed the company line?
First of all, let's qualify these words. Narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, whatever, bipolar, hypomanic, take all these words. There has never been a president that ran for president that didn't think about himself so much that they were not a narcissist. So let's set that part aside. No one's running to think, I'm going to be the leader of the free world, and you're very, I'm just a regular, no. So
well,
let's set that part aside.
I would say perhaps in the later half of the 20th century.
No, listen, the moment media came out, you're not going to become a president without that.
Anybody who runs for Congress has narcissism in it.
You have to have it. So
Trump's level of narcissism is on a whole nother level.
Off the fucking charts.
But I agree with what you're saying, but
it's not off the charts, guys. It's not off. The only difference between Trump and everybody else is Trump can't hide it. Others can. Okay? So don't get twisted like these other guys are extreme.
Nobody else is putting their names across buildings like Trump is.
Brother,
okay, Barack Obama.
I'm on the same page
Rockefeller
with you. I think
Railroad.
all the congressmen are all narcissists. Of course, you need to have a certain level of ego to say, I'm the man for the job.
I'm telling you right now, the part that we all have a hard time is when the masses confuse us and we bought into something that was a lie all along.
Who are you talking about, the masses, though? Who's the masses?
Masses? Are you like masses? Every single mainstream media every day talked about that he colluded in Russia. That's the masses. Everywhere you went, everybody said that was the case. Everybody you ever spoke to, that's the case. They started flipping people on his own side to start believing maybe there was an involvement in there. Everybody. So that is the masses. The minority was that sitting there saying, I don't know, man. I think we got to kind of like, isn't the system innocent until proven guilty? Is it guilty until proven innocent? What is the system here? And then that became the MO against who? Everybody. Kavanaugh, him, Clarence, everybody is guilty until proven innocent. That system's not cool to approach. So, yes, the masses.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
The masses confused so many voters. And voters sat there and said, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Look, so when my parents got a divorce, both sides told me bad things about the other side, okay? My mother's family would say, your dad is this, your dad is that, your dad is this, your dad is that, your dad is this. And I'm in the middle. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. But they said it every freaking day. No, he's not. And then my dad's family, your mom is this, your mom is that, your mom is this, your mom is this, my mom. I said, no, I know this about my mom and I know this about my dad. You ain't going to convince me on all the other stuff. So I finally had to say, listen, I don't really care about you guys that much. I care about my mom. I care about my dad. I don't care about you. You're secondary to me. My mom and my dad matter. All of you guys are secondary. If you want to have any kind of a relationship with me, you better respect my mom. You better respect my dad. If you can't do it, don't call me. Just don't talk to me. I don't need a friendship with you. I don't need a relationship with you.
This is family you're talking to?
I need a relationship with my parents. I don't need a relationship with you. I'm going to be okay. What's the moral of the story here? It's very, very hard to be able to sit there and process issues from both sides and still not let your emotions get caught up. I think Joe's emotions got caught up. That's all I'm saying.
But go back to my initial question. If you were Joe's consigliere, like if you were Joe's biz doc to you, what would you have told him?
Take a month before you make that kind of a big decision. Take a lot longer and process it with a bunch of other people before you make a statement like that, because you actually have influence.
Well, it sounds like it took him 2 years to make that decision.
No, that's not how this works, man. That's not how this thing works. Because
it did.
I get that. All I'm saying is behind closed doors, you have to process that with people that you respect to say, here's where I'm at, okay? And you can't just have all the people behind closed doors, people that 100% agree with you. You
time out.
And again, this is the part I don't know, because I don't know Joe that way. All I'm saying is when you jump like that.
Time out. But again, to Adam's point, Pat, the fucking jump didn't happen in a night. When Trump got elected in 2016 and I'm supporting him, I've got an uneasy feeling. And it took the course of 2 years before I finally said that's it. And so, my wife, my lovely wife who's listening to us right now, in many ways begged me not to. Most of my advisors begged me not to. Most of my political consigliores begged me not to. Every general manager of every fucking radio station I was on begged me to stop.
So people were in your ear saying, Joe, Don't go against him. Don't go against Trump. Don't do this. This isn't the move.
I can't.
But you did it anyway.
Michelle Bachmann, Jim Jordan, many of my former colleagues in Congress, Mark Meadows called me, begged me to stop. I can't think of anybody, Pat, who advised me to do what I did. So I was in a room for 2 years with people saying, come on, Joe, what the fuck? We can ride this out. Yeah, Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows, people would call me privately. I know Trump's a fucking ass, but you know what? We can get through this. We can get by it. Hang in there. The party's going to be fine. So I didn't have people begging me to do this.
But you saw some kind of an opportunity to do that.
You
saw some kind of an opportunity to do that.
And by the way, I respect the hell out of you, and I love your background, and I love what you have accomplished. We all have strengths and flaws. I was not born with a fucking money gene. I've never been driven by money, much to my wife's chagrin. So, look, I'm a cause guy. If you look through my life, generally, everything I've done, it's been cause-driven, and I do what I believe is right, no matter where I'm going to sit financially.
You were a social worker at one point.
I was a social worker. I was a teacher. I mean, I've never been driven by money.
So go back to the question when you say I don't regret voting for Biden.
For one reason.
So if
what's the reason?
The only reason is I wanted Trump to lose. I didn't vote for Biden because I like Biden.
You said it was an anti-vote.
Yeah, but that's not
completely.
But that's not so to me the anti-vote, and we've had this conversation as well many times. I think the anti-vote is an emotional vote. I think I'm being straight up with you.
Mm-hmm. Every vote is.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think most votes are. You're right. Most votes are. But I think the logical vote is more the for vote. The emotional vote is the anti-vote.
Bullshit.
I think so. Great. We can debate that and talk about it. I think the logical, for example, you hire somebody in a company and you bring the guy on board and you sit there and you say, well, let me tell you, man, I really like this guy. If I really liked a person I was hiring, I'd hire my niece. She's 14 years old. I like her a lot. I'd hire my nephew. But I'm hiring somebody to get the job done, okay? So when you hire somebody to get the job done, you don't say, oh my gosh, I'd love to go get hammered with this guy and party with this guy and play dominoes with this guy. You sit there and you say, this guy's going to get the job done, period, okay? So if you can and by the way, I've made the mistake of the other way around. I spent the first 10 years of my career in sales working with people I only liked. I spent the last 10 years of my business working with people that I knew could get the job done, not just people that I liked all the time. Now, if I can like them and they can get the job done, guess what? We got a friendship. We got a relationship, and that's lifelong. But I think when you say the only reason I voted for Biden is the against vote, I think that's where the emotion is. I don't think you're alone, by the way. I think a lot of people voted the way you did.
I think you could have voted for Trump or voted against him based on emotion or based on reason, whatever. Mm-hmm. Statistically, the data shows that people generally vote for president. It tends to be an emotional vote. When you vote for your member of Congress or your mayor or your state rep, it tends to be more, what are you doing about the potholes? Mm-hmm. But generally, when Americans vote for president, it's an emotional vote. Pat, you talk about getting the job done. Look, again, I'm a conservative. I disagree with almost everything Biden's done. There were things Trump did that I liked policy-wise. There were things he did I didn't like. But the job of a president is to do a lot of things, and he did a lot of things bad. He didn't get the job.
Such
as making sure the most important job of a president is to make sure that the laws of the United States are faithfully executed, to not be above the law. Donald Trump repeatedly acted like he was above the law. Every time when Obama was president, and we didn't pass a fucking law and Obama didn't like it, what would we always criticize Obama for?
Executive
order. The pen, the phone. Trump did the same fucking thing. He couldn't get his money for his wall passed through the appropriate process, so just sign a fucking executive order. Trump did a number of those. They both do. I mean, both sides do it, but Trump did a lot of that as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty weak argument on what things he didn't do right. What else?
You know what he didn't do right?
Yeah, what else?
He didn't defend the United States of America.
Stop it.
Bullshit.
Oh my God, like, give me
By
a
the way,
flipping break.
You want to get back into policy.
Yeah.
His tariffs, I think, were horrible for America, horrible for American farmers.
To China?
To Americans. Americans paid for those tariffs.
But you're talking about the Chinese tariffs.
But wait a minute. Okay, so far we have the following. Let's kind of look, because what I want to get to, we've identified and isolated a couple concerns here. One concern, which you just were straight up about, it's like, listen, it was an anti-vote. Phenomenal. Emotional vote, let's set that aside.
Not emotional.
It's an anti-vote. Anti-vote is emotional. Yeah, so my interpretation, not yours. That's my interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, on the logical side, I ask about policies. You said the law, okay, he thought he was above the law. Okay, everybody does executive orders. Well,
I'm not done with the law.
So number two was you said he didn't defend America. He didn't defend America, and you say tariffs. He didn't defend tariffs. Which part of it?
Those are two different issues.
But if you want to actually go deeper, I would love to see you go deeper on those two topics. Go deeper on those two topics.
I believe in free trade. And so when Trump engaged in tariff wars with countries all over the world, those came back and bit Americans. Americans paid for those tariffs. American farmers were devastated by those tariffs. That's just one particular
Go deeper,
issue.
That's a statement.
No, it's not a statement.
It is a statement. That's like somebody wrote a word, and here's what you say in the election.
No,
you got 2 minutes to say that. This is a long podcast, so go deeper.
The American people were hurt by those tariffs. Okay. American farmers went belly up because of those tariffs. They ended up paying for those tariffs.
For which tariffs?
And then
on China?
On China specifically.
Yeah.
Also some of the European
So let me ask you a question. So let's look at the alternative. So what do we do? So let's just say we do a deal together, okay? I'm the better customer. You need me more than I need you. Who should make more money?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, in structure, in a business, okay? If in a business, we're doing business, I don't need your business, but you need my business. Who should get the better deal?
The person who needs the other person. I mean,
no. Nope. Let me say one more time.
Me. I'm slow. I'm not picking
I
up.
totally get it. I'll say it even slower. Okay. So there's two companies doing business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You desperately need the other company's business. The other company, with or without you, they're doing fine. Okay. Who should bow down to whose policies on what to negotiate with?
I have to give the better deal to the guy I need as long as I don't put myself out of business.
There is no question about it.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. So if that's the case, who needed who, U.S. or China?
You're saying China needed U.S. more than we needed China?
It's not even a question on who needed who more. China needed U.S. U.S. didn't need China. U.S. helped China. China without U.S. would not be anything close to what it is today. So we went from not telling the history of how much U.S. contributed towards China's success, and now China is a behemoth, and our deals still favor China more than they favor us, and they're doing whatever the hell they want to do because politicians keep letting them get away with everything. That's what we want to do? No problem. Here's the tariff. These are our guidelines. What are you going to do, right? You're going to sit there and you're going to be like, oh, it's okay, let's keep doing this. Oh, it's okay, we're going to be doing it. So from a businessman standpoint, I totally understand what he did. And quite frankly, none of the presidents, both on the left and the right, knew how to deal with a China, and he was the first person that he could do it. So yeah, when you do a decision like that with tariffs, unfortunately, I said this on the podcast on Tuesday, and I want to kind of hear your thoughts on this and what you're going to say, is the following. I don't think all the policies that America truly needs today, if a president ran with those policies, 0% chance they would win. Let me say it one more time. If a person ran for office today with policies that America actually needs, not what the voter will vote for, those are two different things.
Well, you got to explain what those policies are.
First of all, what we need is less entitlement. What we need is, we need less entitlement. What we need is
keep going.
What we need is military expenditure to be put more into cyber, biowarfare protection than we need other areas.
I'm with you.
What we need is to give incentives to businesses to keep creating jobs, not getting in their way. What we need is an area of deregulation that's preventing the small business owners to compete because the barrier of entry is, I can give you 50 different things that we got.
Pat, I'd agree with 49 of them.
But what I'm trying to tell you is I'm going to keep going with this, and I think he was the first guy that was able to do that. But sometimes policies you make, we were this close of breaking China. We were this close of breaking Iran. This close. We were this close of breaking Iran. We were this close to breaking China. This close. And then what happens? Boom.
Someone ate a bat.
Huh?
Someone had to eat a bat.
If he had another term
outside the Wuhan lab,
if he had another term, China would be in a bad shape today. Iran would be in a bad shape today, and America would have been the leader of the world. But because he was only a one-termer, guess what? China's now the leader,
hey, Pat,
and you got all these other guys that are stepping up.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Is there anything Trump did during 4 years that you didn't like?
I think he. So let's talk about that. So it's a very good question that you're asking, and I talk about this regularly.
Or anything he did that disappointed you.
So
he calls him out quite regularly. But go ahead. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I tell you right now. So, for example, a lot of people in business and disagree with what I say. I have enemies in business for many different reasons. I'm not slowing down. I'm continuing. I'm growing. So people will say stuff about me, and they'll say, "Let me tell you, Patrick this, and Patrick that, and Patrick this, and Patrick that," and I watch them like, interesting. I know. Okay, cool. So, cool. 99% of what people says about me, I don't need to go and defend.
Completely.
His biggest flaw is he has to defend every accusations of him. When you do that, it weakens you. It doesn't strengthen you. So for example, take a look at Obama, what Obama did. Obama got 1 million accusations. What would Obama do? He would just go dance, dance, dance.
No
forget
drama,
policies.
Obama.
No, forget policies, but he knew how to dance with the criticism. Mm-hmm. Trump doesn't know how to do that. Now, some people may say, but that's why I like him. Great. He's a New York guy. You know, for many years we said a New York politician will never be a president because America's not ready for New York president. Chris Christie, we're not ready for something like there's too much in your face. Okay, Jersey, New York, whatever you want to call it, right? So for me, it was that standpoint that he picked the fight with literally everybody. He could have avoided 99% of the fights and just imposed the enemies could have been China. The enemy could have been Iran. The enemy could have been mainstream media. The enemy could have been those guys, not everybody else.
Hey, Pat.
He would have gotten more done.
Yeah, he had New York brash, but he had California bruisability. Everybody.
He's a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Bottom line is he is.
Whereas Obama came from Chicago, where somebody hits you, you kind of roll with it.
You're saying Trump's a pussy?
He's a coward. Oh, well, he's a bully. All bullies are cowards.
I don't disagree on the bully side, but I don't know about the coward side.
He's an absolute coward. Let me ask you this. Did you like the fact that Donald Trump lied about the 2020 election, refused to concede, refused to participate in the peaceful transfer of power, and then led to what happened on January 6th?
So let me tell you how I'm wired. You got to know how I'm wired, okay? When the Russia investigation started on him, this is how I'm wired. I don't know. If they're right, that's dirty.
I'm talking 2020.
But I'm going to explain to you how I'm wired. So when they said he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this, I said, if this is true, dude, this ain't going to be a good look. And Republicans are going to lose the vote for 20 years. This could be a Goldwater type of a thing and could get very, very ugly for the Republican Party. Okay, cool. So 2020 election. Argo came out how long ago? 30 years after Argo happened, which was when? 1978, 79. When did the movie come out? CIA has a basic 30-year rule or whatever the timeline is. They got a 20 or 30-year rule, right? 30 years later, we really found out what happened at Argo. Okay? So the election, what happened? Yeah, I think we're really going to find out what happened in 2020 election in 2050.
So you don't necessarily believe Biden won fair and square?
No, I don't believe either one of them because I'm not on the inside. So for me to give you 100% answer, I can't give 100% answers in things I'm not involved in. I can give you 100% answers in things I'm involved in. I'm not in the White House.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't know if the 2020 election was legit. Do you like the fact that Trump says it was stolen? Yes or no?
I think, okay, so you ever lost publicly?
Yes.
Okay, how much does it suck?
It sucks.
It sucks, okay? All right, so like you've been saying, the last 6 years you've been losing. It sucks, right? Whatever, since 2018, 4 years, your life, all this other stuff. It sucks. It's humiliating. Nobody likes it. None of us like it. I don't like it. You don't like it. Trump doesn't like it. Nobody likes it.
But what do real men do?
Hang on one second. I'm going to give you my answer. So Hillary loses 16. What does she say? Oh, it was Russia.
Stop!
I would have never.
Patrick, you're not being truthful with your audience.
I'm going to give you my answer.
But you're not. That's not true.
But that is true.
No, it's
the
not.
first thing she did.
No, it's not.
The first thing she did on The View and everywhere else was
Pat, Pat, I love you, brother, but that's not right.
You're saying she never said that.
Pat, the morning after the 2016 election, the first fucking thing Hillary Clinton did was go on national television and concede.
That's what you're asking.
Congratulate Trump and offer to help work with Trump.
These are two different questions.
No, but you just said that was the first thing Hillary did.
Stop it. These are two different questions. I'll give you the answer on both of them. Number one. The moment Hillary lost...
Still having fun, by the way.
The moment Hillary lost, Hillary said there was the bots that helped Trump get elected. You can't deny that. Did she concede that night with the phone call? Let me tell you.
No, she didn't. Paul DePodesta was in front of every microphone and she hid.
It's not the phone call, Pat.
What do you mean?
She went on national television the morning after the election, brother.
No, I'll tell you.
That's not a no in front of the country.
Oh my gosh, you're not going to let me finish in this part.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you one part. So in regards to Russia, she said that constantly for years. Now, what I didn't like about what Trump did. Here's what I didn't like about what Trump did. The next president inauguration, whether they cheated or not, what are you doing not being there? I don't like that. If a country has traditions, traditions are above you. You know what I like about what Michael Jordan said one time about LeBron James? Here's what Michael Jordan said about LeBron James. LeBron James made a comment. He says, I believe there's one jersey in the NBA that needs to be retired forever, the number 23. They asked you're from Illinois, so you know the story. They asked Michael Jordan, what do you think about this? You know what he said? He says, no one man is bigger than the NBA. I think Trump thought he's bigger than America. I don't think he is. I don't think anybody is.
So maybe that's your way of saying that you're disappointed that Trump didn't put the country's interest before his own.
The traditions.
And forget about the traditions. Forget about the traditions for a minute, Pat. What's best for the country is, even if you got questions about the election, there was an election. Biden was declared the winner. I don't like it. I'm fucking pissed off. It was stolen from me. But America comes first. Our democracy comes first. It sucks. Biden won. I'll help him with the transition. I'll show up at his inauguration so the American people can see that this thing still kind of works. You're disappointed that Trump didn't do that.
1,000,000%.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to make sure.
By the way, I've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think there was a debate on this.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
But Joe didn't know that. He wanted to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm living in America. I'm nothing in America. There's two ways I view myself. One, I'm one person. You're just one person. You're just one vote. You can't really make an impact. I know for a fact I can make an impact. But I also think from the other side, the bipolar relation, I'm just one. If I die tomorrow, world's going to continue. No, Steve Jobs was a massive guy. He died. We moved on. When you and I die, we're going to move on. This has been said in a lot of different scripture, a lot of good books, and you can read about it. As much of an important person we think, we're going to move on, and the world's going to move on with us. I don't disagree with that part. But go back to logic. Policies. You still have to make an argument for the policies. You got Trump's policies. Take Trump out. Take Trump's method of communication out. Take Trump's bullying style out. Take Biden's method of knocking,
I'm not going to disagree with you.
On the policy side, look where America is today versus when we were under Trump.
I said it publicly at the time. I've said it every time since. I am closer, obviously, to Trump's policies than I am to Biden's policies. I made my decision that Trump's threat to the rule of law and democracy, and I think it played out during the 2020 election, to me was of greater concern than the policy differences.
Hang on.
Which is why, go ahead, Tom.
Can we address that? Because you're talking about the rule of law. So do you believe that Joe Biden legitimately won the election?
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about the fact that they changed voting laws that they allowed without approval from state congressional boards, that they allowed mail-in voting, that we had the least number of retracted votes ever in American history with the highest amount of mail-in ballots. They eliminated voter signatures. Mark Zuckerberg dumped how many hundreds of $1 million into creating his own voting laws, essentially. All this stuff, right? So Donald Trump, two things can be true at once. Donald Trump can be incorrect that the voting machines were hacked, et cetera, while at the same time saying that the rules and the laws were messed with because of COVID. And also, so it was not Donald Trump who locked down the entire American population. It was not Donald Trump who let the Summer of Love riots go on and happen. It's not Donald Trump who accepted 10% from the big, like all these things are coming out. So
shit like that always happens. But you made a great point. And this is why Trump is so fucking stupid. If Donald Trump, my friend, had said what you said, that, oh my God, we've got states that have changed their rules and we're making it much more liberal to vote by mail. Oh my gosh. If Trump had focused on stuff like that, instead of saying, it was stolen voter fraud, Trump could have made a credible case.
So, but can two things not be true at once? Donald Trump can be pompous and arrogant and, as Pat said, show it off more than the other. Like, let's not forget, Barack Obama is building a $486 million plaza to himself in Chicago. He wrote an 800-page autobiography. Hillary Clinton in 2022 just came out and read her election speech, okay? And they spent... So every president is narcissistic. But at the same time, Donald Trump is not a threat to democracy. The Republican Party is not a threat to democracy. It's not the Republican Party that has a wide open border with 3 million illegal immigrants crossing.
That's what makes this a cool country, because you and I can disagree on that. We were living in a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, health crisis. So some states made it easier for people to vote by mail. You can have a problem with that, but then have that fucking discussion and talk about that. And that's how it should have been talked about. I tend to believe, right, in 2020, and I'm in the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, states, because a lot of older people did not want to go anywhere in person to vote, states should do whatever they can to make it easier for people to vote in a health crisis like that. Trump, if he had been smart, would have championed that kind of cause. And by the way, guys, if Trump had been smart when we were hit by COVID, once COVID hit, I remember turning to people I knew saying, this could be a great opportunity for Trump. He can lead the country through this. This is like we're at war against a virus. But he just wasn't capable of doing that.
But I also don't believe that's accurate. Florida closed for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I was here the entire time they closed. And Florida was literally middle of the country in terms of COVID death rates.
So I'm not talking about that, and I'm not disagreeing with you. And if I had been a governor of a state, I would have been much more like Governor DeSantis in Florida than Governor Newsom in California. I agree with you on that. That's a separate issue. I would not have locked down shit. I'm not a lib. I'm not a Democrat.
But back to Pat's point. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you,
the debate that we have all the time that I catch a lot of flack from is policies versus personality. Pat has a very unique ability to disregard all the BS that comes from a shitty personality. And I do think that Trump is a lot of what you said. But Pat has the unique ability to say, yeah, he fights with enemies too much. He says things that are horrible. He probably shouldn't do that. He's a bully. But I have the ability to just focus on policies. And that's how you can kind of grapple through a lot of what the disgust that people have with Donald Trump. It sounds like you have I remember when you went on Bill Maher and he's like, let's go down the list here, buddy. Right? Okay. Judges, you agree with that. Boom. Right? Pipelines, you agree with that. Boom. Right? You want to end Obamacare. Boom. All right. We agree with that. Tax cuts. Boom. And like, all the policies, 90% you agree with. It's just that you couldn't get through his disgusting personality.
I love you, Adam. It ain't personality, but you're right. I probably agreed with 80% of what Trump did policy-wise, which is pretty damn good. It's not just Trump's policy. I'm sorry.
Personality.
Personality. Is he an ass? Is he a bully? Is he a coward? I believe all of that shit. I don't care. I do care about that, but I don't. When you act like you're above the law, when you abuse the Constitution, when you side with Russia over your own country, when you get the head of Ukraine on the phone and say, do me a fucking political favor and dig up dirt on the guy I'm probably going to run against next year, that's an abuse of power. That's an abuse of the powers of your office. That's got nothing to do with, and Pat, you can disagree with me on that stuff. That's not personality stuff to me. He's abusing the powers of his office. That's my objection to Trump.
Joe, I see that. So
he acts like he's above. He did act like he's above the law.
I'm sorry. I thought you paused there at the end. I didn't mean to roll on you.
I did.
Okay.
No, I did pause. So I get it.
All right. Well, when you talk about policies here, my wife's a teacher, and we run into a lot of very liberal, traditional union teachers.
Yes.
but are wonderful people, dedicated educators. And what's interesting is we've had this policy discussion, and it goes like this. Do you think Trump's policies would have been better for the country right now? And you have people who made the anti-vote, and in a small room without people getting upset, they'll say, well, yeah, I can kind of agree with that. And I'm like, okay, so was there an unintended consequence to your anti-vote? Yeah, there kind of was.
Oh, yeah.
And okay,
no
so
doubt.
you
doubt.
But if I voted to keep those policies, we didn't know Biden was going to do this. We didn't know Biden was going to do that. Okay, so you voted the anti-vote and you accepted that there was unknown about what those policies could look like versus the known policies that were going to be there. And I take you back to Pelosi herself, who was at odds over the healthcare bill with Obama and said, it's on record, just remember, we're going to be here 36 years. He's going to be here up to 8. So there was an attitude about Congress about how long we're going to be here and how long we have to deal with any in particular president. And so even Congress goes that way. But I think this is the way I think about it. I think that policies would have been better for America. And yes, there's the pompous part. I don't agree with everything that you've said, but there was such unknown on the other side. And I thought COVID and everything was a dangerous moment. And to go from known policies to unknown policies, America has the unintended consequence that it voted for.
I knew, again, just speaking for myself, when I made that vote, I said publicly, I know that I'm going to disagree with most of what Joe Biden does. I knew that. It was a conscious decision of mine.
And be the economic recipient living in the country under those policies.
Completely.
By the way, your best friend here said this, if you can look at this. Hillary Clinton said, Trump is an illegitimate president, and this is September of 2019.
That's interesting, Pat.
She's a sweetheart, isn't she?
Hold on a minute.
Gotta love her.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 years after the election.
Yeah. What do you think about that? That's not right off the bat. And she's still saying it 3 years later. What a irresponsible woman to say something like that. You don't like this kind of stuff, right? Well, she shouldn't be doing this.
So if that's irresponsible, then everything Trump said about Biden is irresponsible.
No, what I'm trying to say.
Right?
What I'm trying to say to you is
that is irresponsible.
Okay, so she said that.
She said that 3 years after the election.
That's the point. That kind of hurts your argument, though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, your argument is Trump was saying that a year later, 6 months later. She's saying that till today.
Trump's still saying that, and Trump will say until he dies.
But why is it okay? Why?
It's not okay.
Why does her stuff not get censored? But God forbid somebody on the right says that it's illegitimate. That's not okay. Tell me how that's okay, but the other one's not okay.
There's a difference, and by the way, that's not okay. Mm-hmm. And I've called that out, and I'll continue to call it out.
Right, but you didn't even know it was 3 years. You looked at it, you're like, but this was until you realized the date was 19.
Because what I knew was this.
What?
When Hillary lost,
the
following morning, she conceded. Let me finish. She conceded in front of the country, congratulated Donald Trump, and said, I'll do everything I can to help him become a successful president. Hillary Clinton then showed up at President Trump's inauguration.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
Hillary Clinton participated in that transfer of power, even though you knew deep down she probably felt that way. But she was man enough to do it.
Well, we didn't have to know deep down because she may have done those.
Woman enough. There's a lot of controversy these days surrounding that.
Joe,
both things can be true. She did those two things, okay? Yeah. But she also was then immediately on her own tour. She was on The View. That's where she kicked it off, and she was everything else. Was she at the inauguration? You're right, she was. Did she take a Percodan and stand in front of a microphone the day after? Yes, she did. But she was
Don't downplay that, my friend. Isn't that really important?
Which part, Joe?
Those two things were important for her to do, but she was on tour.
Don't fucking minimize that. If you love this democracy, and we are in a fucking divided country where we're at each other's throats and every election is close, and man, it's hard to lose, it sucks to lose, for you to stand up in front of the country so the country can know, yes, I concede, I lost, he won legitimately. This is how our nation works. I will do all I can to help him become a successful president. Don't minimize that.
I'm not minimizing it. I said both can be true.
Important.
Joe,
Trump didn't have the fucking balls to do that.
But she also went to the inauguration, and this is what Pat
That's
said.
important.
Pat was very open about this. He thinks that
I-
Trump should have gone to the inauguration.
Guys, I didn't say. I gave credit already to that part. That's already been addressed. But for him, 3 years later, she's still saying it. Today, she's still saying it. Okay, just so everybody knows. I think, Joe, what would solve a lot of things for you if you just came out and said you're a Democrat. That would finish everything. Just come and say I'm a Democrat
actually,
and
Pat,
go be like a Joe Manchin.
No, you know what? You're right.
Why don't you just come out and say it? Can you just announce it to the world you're officially a Democrat?
I'd love to do it, but I can't because I'm not a Democrat. But to your point, it would make my life a lot easier.
Yeah.
It sucks not having a home.
But what's wrong with being an independent?
Yeah.
What's wrong with being an independent? There's nothing wrong with that.
More and more people should become independent.
I agree. I've gone from being a Democrat to an independent.
But right
full
now,
on.
You know, with your passion and your intellect,
But we've gone opposite
people could
ways.
be saying Lieberman, Manchin, Walsh, and talking about seriously.
No, I know.
So why not?
Because I think on policy, I disagree.
Do you think I'm being fair with that?
You know,
people who are on
completely,
the
Tom.
edge of it that say I'm not going to fly the whole flag, but this is where I'm going to go.
You're completely fair with that question. When I look at policy, I disagree with Democrats on probably 80% of policy. But
they want to get rid of Lieberman. They primaried him. He runs as independent, and he kicked their ass.
Joe, when is your birthday? What month's your birthday?
December.
December what?
27th.
And I know what gift to get you.
Oh, Pat, what?
Can I say
I feel. You know what I feel like? I feel like this has been Ali Frazier.
December 27th.
No mas.
I'm going to get you an old school flip-flop from Sports Mart, Champions, and I'm going to gift it to you. Tell me what size it is. I'll send you this flip-flop. High quality.
Flip-flop? What do you mean
You're
flip-flop?
switching. You're switching. You're flip-flopping, man. I mean, take a stand. And maybe, but you know what? I'll get Ferragamo flip-flops. Higher quality so you can appreciate
Pat,
it. Because
I love you, man.
It's very
fair.
easy
That's not fair.
to call our friend Joe Walsh a flip-flop.
That's
very easy. I'm
That's
just
not fair.
putting it out there.
Yeah.
But it's very hard what he did. It's not easy to say, I've been a Tea Party conservative my whole life. Hear me out. Hear me out. I've been a Tea Party conservative my whole life.
Still am.
Okay? Well, that we can have a whole conversation whether that even exists anymore.
Right.
But he towed the company line. I voted for Trump 2016, and then took him a little longer than most Americans, or half of Americans, to realize, yeah, this guy really is a piece of shit. And then he shot himself in the foot, the leg, and probably even the stomach at some point, even in the brain, and said, I can't do this anymore.
Stop it.
But there's nothing wrong with that, Pat.
God.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Get
So
this
you're
guy
saying,
a glass
Pat,
of wine right now to calm
Pat,
him
you're
down.
saying that he should have just
had
stood
one
there.
too many 5-hour energy
Pat,
drink this
listen
morning.
to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying that he should have. No, Trump's
No,
my guy.
you guys,
and just stick with it. That's what you're saying he should have done.
You guys were all baptized by mainstream media and confused.
No, Pat.
Like
People have
there's-
eyes and people have ears. They can hear what he's saying.
Oh, really? People have eyes
When
and
he
have ears?
said in
Wait,
Helsinki,
People
when
have
Trump
eyes?
went up there and
Wait.
said, yes, I
But
stand
let's
with
stay on
Putin,
that.
and the next day he had to reverse course.
Let's stay.
A lot of people were disgusted
Listen,
about that.
let's stay on that topic. Stay on that topic right there. Look at the economy today. Look 4 years ago.
You're not
Look
answering.
at the situation
fucking
today.
COVID, Pat.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, so you're going to blame COVID? So
Yes, that's exactly what I'm blaming.
So
That's
today-
exactly what I'm blaming.
Can I talk? So
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Sure.
So you're blaming COVID for today's economy. Are you also blaming Russia? Are you also blaming Putin? Are you also
No,
blaming
I'm
Ukraine?
blaming COVID.
Are you also blaming who else are you blaming? COVID what? COVID what? Tell us why
Money
today's
printing?
economy.
How much money did Trump
But
print?
wait a
2
minute.
trillion,
But
and
wait
then-
a minute.
And then Biden printed 3 trillion.
If it's because
you got to give Trump some blame for all the money printing. If that's what your problem is with the inflation.
If it's because of COVID, which is your rhetoric, and you gotta blame that. No problem. Let's play that card. Then why were gas prices $2.20 in December of 2020?
They were going up before Biden was sworn in.
But wait a minute.
By the way, Adam, you're right.
No,
If you're going to blame Biden for what he spent on COVID, Trump did the same fucking thing.
Well, we know he's a Democrat.
No,
Just
I'm
become
not.
a Democrat and
No,
get it
I'm
over
not.
with.
No,
Both of you guys join the camp
no.
because
I'll also blame Biden for the shit that he's done. Both can be fucking up.
you cannot-
it's not a
you-
binary
you
decision.
cannot
It can't be
say-
like Trump's horrible. I'm voting for Biden.
Yeah.
Biden's wonderful. I'm voting like. Both could be horrible presidents.
You take COVID.
Both can be bad.
But that's an emotional statement, which I'm not
No,
surprised.
it's not.
You're in. Both of you guys are part of the emotional community, which I appreciate. This is why there's some people in your life that can reason, and that helps you out. But I think emotions is good.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a very entertaining place to be.
Yes, I have a heart, guys.
But
Not the Tin Man.
But pre-date, you set the bat about 30 minutes ago. You threw that bat comment in there when we talked about China. Okay.
Yes. You also used air quotes. You weren't watching me, but I said someone ate a bat.
So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you play that card, okay, and Florida shut down for 2 weeks, the rest of the country,
Florida shut down longer than 2 weeks. But
whatever the timeline was, but everybody's coming here.
Yeah. I lived in Florida the whole fucking time. We shut down for like 2 months.
No, you lived in Dallas as well. You lived in Texas as well. So don't get it twisted. You lived in Texas for a minute.
It'll be down to a week.
Yeah. But here's the point. Go back to it. Day before COVID. Go a day before COVID.
February 4th.
How's America doing?
Financially?
ISIS, Afghanistan, China, North Korea, Iran, Palestine, Israel. How's America doing day before COVID?
Policy-wise, I
So you're an emotional voter.
But we were at each other's throats.
But there's
part of that where people hate each other.
But no. Why though?
But Pat, multiple things could be going on. The economy could be going well for most people. Yeah. But people could also there's an undertone of people hating each other.
Do you realize
the rhetoric?
Do you realize how scary it is for you, like a Pelosi, to have had control of Congress for God knows how many years? They don't look up at presidents. They look down at presidents.
And they say the same thing for McConnell. You get the same thing for Jim Boehner or John Boehner.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. So if you're going to call out one side, call out both.
Are you going to let me make my point? You're going to keep interrupting. Just tell me. I'm okay with that. So
both sides.
If you let me finish.
Ahead,
it's okay. You're screaming. I like it. So let me tell you where I'm at here with this. If we know Congress looks down at presidents. They don't look up at presidents. They don't say, "Oh my gosh, he's a president."
President.
Behind closed doors, are like this guy. He's got no influence as much as you guys think he's got him. He's nobody. Let's just freaking make him feel good in his ego. He's going to leave. We're going to keep controlling the policies, and we keep playing our games, and we have the card. So we're invited to the same parties. We'll, keep using this to do insider training, make our money, go big, buy the big houses. Just let this guy's ego go. We'll go do our own thing, right? No problem. Okay. Then all of a sudden, a guy shows up, and this guy calls out all your bullshit. Nonstop. This guy says swamp. This guy says all of this stuff. Next thing you know, people are asking questions that you have not been asked for a while. Do you think congressmen should be able to invest after having insider training? I'm sorry, Miss Pelosi. Did your husband ever make any financial decisions after having insider? No, we've never done that. No. Boom, that video goes viral. Congress,
but that was today under Biden.
But even during that time is when it started. That calling out started during that era.
It started when I was in Congress.
Then a guy shows up and starts asking those questions and exposes it to America, and Americans are sitting there saying, damn, if that's true. And then they said, hey, guys, we got to freaking create a confusion ASAP. Get people protesting. Get people rioting. Let's shut down the economy. Let's do all this stuff. Now we got monkeypox. It's horrible. Oh, my gosh, we're going to die. Let's use fear. The American person who are emotional, they fell for it. And guess what? We are in the state of affairs that we are in today.
For what exactly?
Fell for what? What do you mean, from what? What do you mean?
You said they fell for it.
They fell for the emotion.
For what?
Of course. They fell for the manipulation. They fell for all the pinning against each other. You fell for it.
COVID.
You fell for Russia. You fell for Russia. Don't deny it. You fell for Russia. You believe that was really going on. You fell for it.
I wouldn't say about the Russia thing. However,
no, don't go off of it.
Okay, answer this then.
You fell for Russia.
Why
did you fall for Russia? Did you believe Russia was
Here's
happening?
the question I would ask myself. You said I used to always ask myself, why couldn't Trump say one bad thing about Putin? One. He's a thug. He's a murderer. He didn't say one bad thing. He didn't help his cause at all. All he needed to say was, yes,
Adam,
Putin is a thug.
If you're going to deflect, after the question,
I'm not deflecting. I'm answering this head on.
No, you're not. I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
The question is, did you buy into the Russia gate, whatever's going on, that Trump's involved with the election?
Did I buy in a little bit? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Was I all in? He's guilty. Throw him in jail? No.
But stop. You did.
You asked me to answer the question, and I answered it.
Why did you not have any information?
I'll go back to my initial statement. Trump did not once, Pat.
You still didn't answer my question. So if you're not going to answer, we can move on.
I'm saying one time.
No,
Trump did not say one bad thing about Putin.
If you're not going to answer the question.
He went there in Helsinki and said, I side with Putin. And the next day he said, I meant to say I don't side with Putin.
If you're not,
I'm sorry. That's a little aggressive to me.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you're not going to answer that question, you don't have any credibility.
I just answered the question.
No, you did not.
Okay, so
you
answer
for it.
I'm going to look you in the face.
Yeah.
Ask me the question.
Yeah.
And I'll answer the question.
Did you emotionally fall for the fact that Russia was happening without having all the information?
I did to a percentage. I didn't 100% guilty.
You did.
I said there's a high likelihood something's up here.
Okay.
Because if he wouldn't come out and say, I would never, Putin did, like if he wouldn't call Putin out,
do you realize,
there's a problem with that.
Like if you're married and I say to the world, you beat your wife up every night, what you should do the next day?
How about this?
Yeah.
If you said, hey, we really kind of think that your wife's been cheating on you.
Yeah.
I'll say, well, what proof do you have? Well, we saw her driving around. She checked into a hotel and motel.
Yeah.
She'd been snooping around.
Yeah.
I'd say, it's not looking good. I'd like to see more evidence, but based on what I'm hearing, it's not looking good. And then if someone said, you see this picture of this gentleman that your wife has apparently been cheating on you with? And you asked my wife, hey, what do you think about this guy? And she's like, yeah, he's a nice guy. And she wouldn't say, I would never hang out with this guy. He's a piece of shit. And she only would say nice things. Then I'd be like, all right, this is a little weird that the person that you're cheating on with, you won't even say one bad thing about them.
These are two different situations.
You use the analogy about the wife.
I gave you the analogy of if somebody said to you, why do you keep beating your wife and you've never beat the wife? The next day, you're like, what are you talking about? Like, do you want me to address this issue?
Yes.
I
want you to address it head on. I want you to say he's a thug and I do not side with Putin. How hard would those words would have been?
Okay.
Well, but he doesn't believe
was that your problem with him?
He doesn't believe that, though.
You guys are extremely naive, and it's great. I'm surrounded by naive people. Fantastic, guys. You guys are emotional, naive people, and stay there.
Right.
So you applaud Trump for not saying one bad thing about Putin? One bad thing. One.
Wait.
You've got 4 years to say one thing.
Wait, Pat. Do you like?
You guys are funny today. Listen,
no, Pat.
You can scream all you want.
No,
I'm going to listen to you.
Do you like?
I've been listening to you guys.
Yeah.
If you want me to answer the question,
so answer this. Do you like what Trump did that time in Helsinki in the summer of 2018? If you were advising Trump before he stood with Putin in front of the world, would you have told Trump to say that?
Can I ask you a question?
Answer that one first.
Wait a minute for me.
Answer that one.
When negotiation happens, what part of the negotiation are you involved in?
I asked you a simple question,
when negotiation happens, what part of the negotiation are you involved in?
Would you have advised Trump to say that? Yes or no?
Whatever he said,
Adam,
or
he won't answer.
Pull up the
whatever
article.
he said,
what happened in Helsinki 2018?
Whatever he said or he didn't say, here's what you need to know. Why didn't Russia invade Ukraine during his term?
You're avoiding the question.
Why? You guys are avoiding the question.
Pat,
you guys have been getting emotional the entire time.
No, you are now. We can talk about Ukraine. That's a good separate issue. When Trump stood in Helsinki with Putin, do you like what Trump did there?
Which part of the quote do you want my commentary on? Pull up the quote. Be specific. I'll give you my commentary on it.
President Putin says it's not Russia. I don't see any reason why it would be Russia.
He said, President Putin says it's not Russia. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
Who's this? This is
Trump
who's saying
was asked if he believed. The question was specific. Yeah. President Trump, do you believe your own intelligence agencies, which say Russia meddled in the election, or do you believe President Putin, who says Russia didn't meddle?
And these are the same intelligence agencies that worked
Tyler, do you
overnight to make sure that he was ousted. So that they had a backup plan, that Comey was against him.
Then defend what Trump said
but
there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So what did he say? You're upset with the fact that he says President Putin says it's not Russia? I don't see any reason why it would be. Okay, let me tell you.
He stood with Putin.
Let me tell you what my style would be. You ready? Here's my style. You ready?
Go ahead.
Unlike being emotional, guys like the two of you, I would say to him, behind closed doors, now I got leverage in negotiating with you.
You're not behind closed doors, my friend.
No. I think you missed the point. You missed the point with what I just said. If I sit there and I'm negotiating with you, and I say this, you don't deliver on my asks, you don't have I don't have your back, it's a different game. You can't come and say something like this, and then behind closed doors, you're not giving me what I'm asking you. you lose leverage with me. So what are you supposed to say here? Tell me what you're supposed to say. So give me what you would say. You're President Joe Walsh next to Putin. Give me your words.
Yes, Russia meddled in the 2016 election.
You're a naive, emotional president. That's why you're not a president.
Well, Pat.
Okay.
Pat, can I?
Oh, no, and let me finish.
That's why you're not a president.
Let me finish what I would have said.
Because if you would have said that, you could potentially cause a war. Now America's getting hit by because you don't know how to answer questions.
I would. Let me finish.
That's the problem.
Let me finish my answer. Yes, because I was asked, who do I believe? I would have said yes. I believe America's intelligence community. Russia did meddle with our election.
But you don't know that for a fact.
Yes,
okay, hold on.
Yes,
can I give you?
Don't know that for a fact.
Let me give you one fact, and then you guys can debate this.
No,
and this is not emotion. There's no name calling here. He said, quote unquote, President Putin says it's not Russia. I don't see any reason why it would be, quote unquote. What did he do the next day? Trump. Let's talk facts. What did Trump do the next day?
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
No,
hubba.
No, Joe.
No, I know.
He went and he
what
said,
did.
I'm sorry, I misspoke.
He knew
I
he fucked
actually
up.
said,
He was
I
totally
don't see
fucked
any
up.
reason it wouldn't be. I spoke incorrectly. Trump came out and made a statement and said, I spoke wrongly. Fact. He went, is this a Trump? Trump responded by tweeting that he had great confidence. So the next day, he 100% reversed course.
Are we not going to read the latter half of that tweet? As the world's two largest nuclear powers, we must get along. What? Okay, first of all,
that's a separate point, Tyler. Tyler, that has nothing to do with what he said there.
It's not a separate point at all.
Nuclear they should get along all the time. Nobody wants to
your point,
but the
Adam,
point is Trump reversed
knew
course.
He made a mistake. He knew
yes,
he made a mistake.
Because you know what happened, in my opinion, this is my opinion, someone came to him and said, hey, Donald,
you're in trouble.
You completely fucked up on the world stage.
Yeah.
You're going to need to go ahead and flip exactly what you said and pretend people are stupid and said, oh, I actually meant I wouldn't be. It's the exact same situation when he said, I'm here with Tim Apple, the CEO of Apple. And he goes, it's actually Tim Cook. He's I said Tim Cook. It's like, you said Tim Apple.
Adam, do you realize how much of a fool you look like right now?
I don't, because I'm telling the truth.
Do you realize?
Why am I a fool? Because I told you the exact story that happened.
Adam, so that's emotions. That upsets you.
I'm reading quotes.
You going to keep doing this, or what do you want to do?
It's not emotion.
So you're watching. Wait a minute.
Go.
So you guys see this. You guys having some excitement, right? You guys getting aroused. This is fantastic that you're getting aroused on the podcast.
I don't find this
Let
fun.
me tell you. So now say that.
Yes.
Fast forward to today. Your vote, America's a shit show. Nobody gives a shit what you're saying. Whether there's any credibility to that or not, America's a laughing stock in the world today because of your vote. Congratulations. Phenomenal job, guys. Awesome stuff. You should be proud of yourself. You should be able to brag. So I understand you emotionally have to defend your vote.
No.
You have to defend your vote.
I'm not defending my vote.
Of course you have to defend your vote.
Ask me how do I think Joe Biden's doing?
It's not the point.
Ask me. I think he's shitting the bed.
But it's not shitting the bed.
Two things could be right at the same time.
Adam,
Trump could be a liar and siding with Russia, and Joe Biden can be a bad president. Two things could be correct at the same time.
I want to believe, and I'm going to believe this about you, Pat, that if you had Trump's ear before he went out on that stage with Putin, you would have told him, advised him not to say what he said. I think you would have.
You guys are living in a.
But I want to believe you would have.
You guys live in a universe where unicorns fly and the never-ending story.
Cool.
You know,
Trump doesn't lie.
By the way,
so
and Trump,
which is
Trump
great.
By the way, Adam, you started this whole thing 15 minutes ago when you said. Because you still don't buy this. You said, what if Joe just did 5 years ago what he thought was right? And you asked him, what would you have told Joe to do? And then you went off on
I
the whole...
I think you saw an opportunity and you jumped on it. And it was a wrong opportunity. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I think a lot of people did what you did. I think they saw an opportunity and they said, let me go.
But that's like, you can also say the same thing to Liz Cheney. You can also say the same thing about Adam Kinzinger. There's how many people have voted? How many Republicans?
These are guys. Listen, these are guys. You again, do not be naive when your entire life has been playing politics and getting all the fringe benefits of being a lifelong politician, and a guy shows up with no politic experience and whoops your ass. It's public humiliation.
You're down another road.
He didn't whoop Liz Cheney's ass or Adam Kinzinger's ass. These are people.
No, he didn't whoop
Anthony Gonzalez.
He didn't whoop Liz Cheney's ass. You called the father out. You're supposed to do what she's doing. Liz Cheney's supposed to do what she's doing. What's your point? Like
No, but Liz Cheney was one of 13.
But no, Liz Cheney.
So go down the list. Anthony Gonzalez in Indiana. You had
Liz Cheney
Adam Kinzinger. They're all gone.
Adam Kinzinger is who? Who? You tell me who respects an Adam Kinzinger today. Tell me.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. Is that
which is what?
It's equivalent. It's equivalent of an Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
Okay. He's basically saying, yeah, I was a Democrat, but I can't condone this. And I have respect for that. It's the same thing as a Republican saying, I'm a Republican, I've been a Republican all my life, but I can't condone this. I have respect for that. You say all the time, the people that call out their own party is who you have to
lower
respect.
Adam 5% is very loud. So you have to, and I'm telling you, tell Erik to lower 5% is very loud. So you have to understand that is still being opportunistic.
No,
that's fine. Yeah, it is. Joe saw an opportunity. He says, let me go against Trump. I don't think he's going to get reelected. I think there's an opening for him.
What was the opening? How did that help his life at all?
How did that help me?
But that's a bad decision he made.
I agree.
Okay, yes, but he was being opportunistic.
From a career standpoint.
Yeah, but he was being opportunistic.
But from looking yourself in the mirror standpoint, there might be a difference.
Looking yourself in the mirror today, you look like a fool.
Pat,
looking yourself in the mirror today, if you look at, guys, what happened to the Fed rates yesterday? What happened yesterday? Tell me.
It was raised by 75 basis
points.
points.
Where are we at right now?
2.25 base Fed rate.
So right now, 30-year fixed is what? 30-year fixed right now is what? 6.5. Welcome to the Biden administration. Your vote.
Pat,
your vote. Phenomenal job, guys.
I'm going.
How's inflation doing?
I'm going to assume as well, Pat.
How's inflation doing? Tell me how inflation's doing.
Pat, I'm going to.
How's inflation doing?
Set a record.
9.1%. If you guys want it, so now when it's logic, you're silent. Emotion, you're fired up.
Pat.
Logic, oh my God, you know.
So it's only Biden, Trump, because Trump printed money too.
I told you already. I didn't support. I've never supported bailing out since Obama days.
I agree.
I've never supported bailing out. I'm for now. I tweeted this the other day. The only way we're going to get through this, where 20 years from now everything's going to be all right, is you got to let the too big to fail. So check. And this started when? When did quantitative easing start? Under who?
08, Obama. Well, under George W. Bush and then Obama.
Okay. Do I support quantitative easing?
You do not.
Okay. Do I support what Trump did when he put $2 trillion and they said, here's what we got to be doing? I've never said send out. The only reason I said that is one reason. One reason only. You can't ask restaurants to shut down and not go to work and make them non-essential and not bail them out. You can't do, the two can't go together. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think you should have shut down restaurants in the first place. I don't think you should have shut down churches in the first place.
Those are state decisions. Those are governors.
Totally
That's
fine.
our friend Newsom in
then
California.
they're coming in and saying, hey, if we're shutting these guys down, what do we need to do? Yeah. So he's being advised on what do we need to do. He's got to kind of think about it.
You're saying Trump?
Yeah, but I still don't support it.
Yeah, but the CARES Act had 5 different parts to it.
I still don't support it. I'm telling you, I still don't support it.
So you're calling out Trump for what he did, just like you're calling out Biden for what he did.
I've been doing doing this for 6 years.
Serious question. This is a business question. How much of inflation today is because we printed all that money?
How much of that inflation is today?
Yeah, I'm not even saying who printed it. It's just the fact that it was printed. 40% of all the money
very big role.
Okay,
very big role.
$2 trillion was printed under Trump, and $3 trillion under Biden, if not more.
Again,
so both are guilty.
No. Again, when did the first printing happen? What year did the first printing happen?
2020.
What month?
March of 2020.
Okay, so what was gas prices in December?
That's different from inflation.
What was inflation? Go to inflation. What was inflation in December 2020?
Before we printed the money, inflation was 2%, if not less.
That's after, okay? What was inflation in December of 2020?
December of 2020?
Yes,
because we had already printed the money.
Yes, we have.
3 quarters ago, we printed the money.
What was inflation in December of 2020?
Around 2%.
1.4%.
Okay.
What was inflation a month before Ukraine?
A month before the Russia invaded Ukraine?
Yeah. February of this
5%?
year.
7.4%.
Okay.
So what's your excuse now? Let's hear it.
I'm asking how much.
He's not making.
I'm not talking about gas prices.
What I'm saying to you is policies have consequences.
I agree with you.
If you take COVID out,
yes.
If you take COVID out, you'd be sitting here, economy galore.
If you take COVID out,
you can't.
But COVID was a great opportunity for the left.
If my aunt had a penis, she'd be my uncle. But COVID exists.
COVID was a great opportunity for the left. They capitalized off COVID in a phenomenal job. And the 2 Democrats that are sitting here.
And that's what any political party would do.
That's what you support.
And by the way, coming back,
that's
COVID
true.
had a lot to do with inflation. But look, Pat, I enjoy this and I love chatting with you. But brother, again, just be real with me. I'm not a Democrat. You can call me a son of a bitch and a dishonest opportunist. I'm not a Democrat.
You said you are glad you voted for Biden, and you said you're happy you did.
Yeah.
So you've had a year and a half to assess that vote, and you're still happy about it.
I don't regret that vote.
Okay, so what do you think?
Pat,
what the situation today? The situation we're in today. Why are we in the situation we are today?
No, stop, my friend.
Exactly. Let's get emotional.
Listen, listen.
Why are we in the situation we are today? Tell me.
I asked you a specific question.
Which is what?
Am I a Democrat?
Based on what you're saying that you don't regret your vote, of course you're a Democrat.
That makes me a Democrat, even though I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a registered Democrat.
Because you supported policies of a Democrat.
Pat,
if I vote for a Democrat or a Republican,
Republicans and independents voted for Biden.
If I claim I'm non-emotional,
come on, man. It's a nice podcast, but you got to fucking deal in facts.
If I claim I'm non-emotional, which you're saying you're not, okay.
Pat,
if I claim I'm not, what part of your vote today?
Did independents vote for Biden in 2020?
What part of your vote today?
See, he just doesn't listen.
Because you haven't answered my question yet.
How much longer is this, guys?
You haven't answered
I'm having a ball.
You haven't answered my question yet.
No, I'm sitting 5 feet from you.
I get that, 3 feet.
Listen,
so what?
3 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you to your face, I am not a registered Democrat.
What part of the policies you voted for are you happy with today?
I'm not happy with. Let me finish a thought.
I want to hear it. Policies.
As I've said before, I'm not happy with the vast majority of policies Biden has done.
Yeah.
I'm not a Democrat. I don't regret my vote.
Yeah.
Plenty of independents and Republicans voted for Biden too, Pat. They're not Democrats. Maybe they regret their vote, but they're not Democrats.
But that's a difference, though.
No, you called me a Democrat,
that's a different, though. You supported...
You know what? You're un-American.
You supported Democratic
policy. You're un-American.
You can't say that. Why would you say that?
It's your opinion.
Because he's calling... No, exactly.
It's your opinion.
How stupid, Adam, is it for me to say that?
But if you can...
It's not true.
If you can validate the point...
But Pat sits there and says, I'm a
But
Democrat.
if you validate the point, I'll take it.
I love you, man, and this isn't emotional.
If you validate the point, say it.
But there's no point.
Well, Pat, then tell me your policies.
There's no point to
What policies you voted for? What policies you voted for?
Pat,
are you happy for the vote?
Pat?
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you a damn thing if you continue to call me a Democrat.
Then tell me what policies you don't support.
No.
Then tell me what policies you don't.
I'm not.
Then you're
I'm a Democrat.
Because tell me the policies.
Hey Tyler, how much longer?
Tell me the policies.
Okay.
Joe, you can get up and leave. I'm totally fine with that. We'll open the door for you.
I may, and it's
you do.
Joe, you're going to be fine. You're going to stay there. You're good.
No. I'm totally okay with that. If you,
this is not emotional.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
So then give me a logical answer.
I'm not no. But stop for a minute.
Yeah, you said it's not emotional.
I left the Republican Party 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
I did not join the Democratic Party. I am an independent right now.
Mm-hmm.
So do not call me a Democrat.
But tell me what policies you supported that today are working of Biden's policies.
I'd have a hard time picking. I can give you one.
Sure.
I'm glad Biden got us out of Afghanistan. I'll give you two. I like the simple infrastructure bill the bipartisan infrastructure bill that Biden signed into law. Those are two that I approve. The vast majority of things Biden did, I don't support.
So you support the way we left Afghanistan?
Absolutely. I support us getting out of Afghanistan.
Let's clarify that. Do you support us getting out, or you support the way we left?
I'll answer that. I supported us getting out.
Because that started under Trump and the Doha agreements.
Hey, my friend. Yeah, that was a promise of Trump's that I supported. And I'm glad Biden got it done. And I believe that any way we would have gotten out of Afghanistan was going to be ugly and messy, and it was. But I respect Biden for having the balls for doing it. Mm-hmm. Yes.
PBD, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You say this all the time. This isn't like a setup punchline. Who controls America?
Who controls America? What do you mean?
Okay. As far as voter blocks,
yeah.
Who controls America?
12%.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the answer I was looking for. And where are these 12% typically located? They're all over America, but there's a specific region that Hillary didn't visit, let's say.
You're saying non-red? non-red states?
I'm just saying. He's saying Wisconsin, Ohio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The quote-unquote blue wall that broke in 2016.
Sure. Right.
So,
you're talking about evolving Rust Belt.
Yes, the Rust Belt. And Joe's from what state again, Joe? Illinois. Rust Belt. Okay, I'm talking Michigan, Ohio, certain parts of Pennsylvania, the western part of Pennsylvania, Illinois, Iowa, that whole Rust Belt. You're talking about places.
Ohio's always imbalanced.
And this goes back to the point you're making with Joe. Those same people that voted for George W. Bush in 08.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in 2000 and 2004, those same people voted for Obama in 08 and 12. And then those same people voted for Trump in 16. And then those same people voted for Biden in 20. Those people, those 12% independents, they control America. Like, I'll give you an example. My grandmother, God bless her, 90 years old. She voted for George W. Bush. She voted for McCain. She voted for Obama. She voted for Trump. And then she voted for Biden. She's not anything. Like, you're trying to pin him to be a Democrat. Those same people
I asked you,
flip-flop each election.
That's why I said flip-flop. You're right.
Okay.
You just validated my point I just said 20 minutes ago.
I was enhancing your point, but the point is that Joe's saying is like, I can go back and forth. I can't be labeled a Democrat.
You can go back and forth from Republican to Democrat to independent, whatever. He can go from a Republican to an independent to a Democrat back to an independent back to a Republican. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
But there's a difference in what you're registered as versus who you vote for.
What I'm saying to you right now, when you vote, you're voting for policies. What policy do you support?
No, Pat.
That's a part of
the logical vote.
Part of it.
The logical vote, not the emotional vote.
As you know, most people are emotional.
I do. That's why I'm part of the 12%.
But I gave you credit saying Pat has a unique ability to remove emotion and focus on logic. But most people can't do that.
Right, Pat, don't speak for everybody. When you vote, you vote on policies. Respect that.
I think that's what we got to do.
But not everybody does.
I agree. And I think more of us need to vote on policy.
Now we're finding common ground, guys. Look at us.
I think more of us need to vote for policy. There you go. So we agree. I think we need to get less on voting emotional and allowing the mainstream media to confuse the hell out of you.
You're right. But it's hard to do.
I didn't say it. That's hard to do. It's easy. I started off telling you it's going to be hard.
That's like saying, guys, you need to be in shape. I agree. But 70% of America is overweight.
You know why I love free enterprise? You know why I love free enterprise? You know why I love free enterprise? You could probably
write a book about that,
Do you know why I love free enterprise?
Tell me what.
Let me tell you why I love free market. You know what's the great thing about free market? Free market will tell you if you're doing a horrible job very quickly. And there is no debates.
Right.
Everybody knows. You know what's the thing about politics? You can spin all day long and people don't know because there's not a way to measure. You can spin all day long, and the best spinners do very well in politics. Yesterday, who's the press secretary of Biden? Who's the press secretary of Biden? I'm having a hard time saying her name.
Jean-Pierre.
Okay. Did you see what she said about recession? We're not in a recession. Did you guys try to change the definition of recession? No, we are not in a recession. Are you not familiar with the NBRA or NRBA where in 19 such a they said this
story? Let's focus on that.
So it's the ultimate spin zone. So for business people, you can't say you're in a board meeting. Hey, can you tell me why last quarter you were down 42%? That's not true. We're not down 42%. Let me tell you what we really are. We really are up 82%. No, you're down 42% in your revenues. That's not true. But that's exactly what it is. So in free market, there is no room for spin zone. Maybe a month, maybe a quarter, maybe 6 months. You ain't going to get away with it for long term. You're eventually going to get fired. But in politics, spinning is an art. And some have it and some don't have it. There you go. So emotion works.
Would you say that, okay, so what's the technical definition of a recession?
2 quarters declining.
Of declining GDP.
Yes.
So in the first quarter of the year from January to April, right? First quarter, we were down 1.9%, I want to say.
Yeah.
Now, the number just came out today. Breaking news. We're down second quarter GDP 1%, 0.9 to be exact. So technically, by definition, we are in a recession now. This is happening.
Said this July 1st was day first of recession. And I said in a video in June, I said they're going to redefine the recession. And I said they're going to try to get this thing to not be called a recession until after midterms.
You're not lying at all, right?
Okay.
So telling the truth.
Adam, it's not about that point.
Would you say, Joe, would you say that we are currently in a recession?
I'll leave that to the experts. It sure feels like it.
Okay.
Hold on, because I'm not an expert, but this is stupid. For Biden and his administration to be wrestling with trying to define it is just idiotic and wrong.
What choice do they have when someone in the media says, Joe, we have now entered a recession?
What choice do they have? How about lead us out of it?
Well, you don't think they're trying to do that, Tom?
Well, no, they're trying to
they'd like
fuss
there
with
is
the
no
words
try,
and change
there is only do.
definitions.
You don't think that they are trying to do that? You think they're like, we love a recession? What are you saying? Of course they're trying.
Hey,
you don't think the salespeople are trying? Yeah, but the three that aren't doing well, just got to let them go and hire somebody else.
Let me ask a question from Joe. Joe, do you want to be here or do you want to leave?
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
If you want to leave, let's open the door so you can get out of here.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, because we're going to get into policy. You're going to get into issues today that we want to get commentary on the last 30 minutes, if you can handle it.
Yeah. I can generally handle things. I want to make one more point before we get into that.
Let's do it.
And I'll push back on you, my friend, though I know you meant well. I'm not flip-flopping. I appreciate the birthday present. I'm not flip-flopping on anything. I would be a flip-flopper if I renounced everything I believed in. I still believe everything I believed in.
Mm-hmm.
I made a conscious decision to oppose Trump, not changing what I believed in. So Biden's the first Democrat I've ever voted for in my life. I'm still a proud Tea Party free market conservative who made a decision that, Pat, you may disagree with, but I have not changed who I am.
Yeah. And
that's all. My God, can't there be conservatives who oppose Trump and conservatives who support him?
Yeah, but
That's
you
all
guys
I'm
are a
saying.
dying breed, unfortunately.
You made the point, Adam. There's no room in the party for us. Adam Kinzinger and I are best friends.
Really?
Adam, we got elected together, same state. Adam knows. The only reason Adam didn't run is because he couldn't win a primary.
Right.
Liz Cheney's going to get her ass whooped next month.
By the way, do you know Catalina Loff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great gal.
Right, but she's doing what you need to do to be successful in this party because it's
which is
support Trump.
Support Trump. Yeah. That's all. That's if you want to win a Republican primary, that's what you have to do. Liz Cheney's going to lose. Adam Kinzinger has no future in the party right now.
I know Pat wants to get to topics, but no, Adam Kinzinger. It's not that he pushed back on Trump. It's that Trump is the threat to democracy. Trump's going to bring down the United States. Trump is everything that they refuse to see that the left is. You can push back on Donald Trump. Okay, Jim Jordan has done it. Kevin McCarthy has done it. You can. Mitch McConnell has done. Like, you can push back on Trump. It's the threat to democracies. It's the I'm gonna cry because you guys were so brave on January 6th with the insurrection. It's all that bullshit. That it's like, no, this is absurd. You're not looking at the other side.
Give me one Republican who has publicly said I oppose Donald Trump and won a Republican primary. Just that. I oppose Donald Trump, and if he's the nominee in 24, I won't support him. Give me one Republican who's won a primary.
Okay,
saying that.
So,
give me one Democrat that said I don't support Obama.
What is his name? The former.
What I'm trying to say is, give me in any. If the
there's a lot of Democrats who are saying that about Biden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because they have to distance themselves from him.
Well, wait. We have to talk about what's going on right there. And Joe, we can be honest about this, right? Right now.
Why do we have to say that? Aren't we all just being honest?
Okay, then I won't say anything more.
What the fuck? Come on, guys. I thought everybody up here is going to be honest.
Okay, here we go. Right now, and it's a fact, leaks have been coming out. The DNC is pressing for soft-handed articles that clearly show Democrats or the voting public and certain other people do not feel Biden should run again. And some of these articles are a little critical.
Right.
Some of them are very soft-handed.
Right.
An independent Quinnipiac poll said 64% of Democrats in these 3 states feel that Biden shouldn't run again. Why is the DNC doing that? They're doing that because they're trying to clear the way to have a primary in a non-confrontational way by saying, you're an idiot, you're done, we're going up against you. They're trying to let the primary be a fait accompli at the end of all this and with what's going on.
Probably right. I think most Democrats, don't want Biden to run again. Democrats aren't
And why is that?
Here, Pat has some
Let me
numbers
read
for
the
you if
story.
you want.
75%. Let me just read the story and we get into it. CNN poll.
Because
Hold
they're
on, guys.
having to run against reality, not spin. They're having to run against the economy. They're having to run
CNN
against
poll, not a
policies.
Fox
go,
poll.
Tom.
CNN poll. This is not a Fox poll. CNN, July 27, which is just a day ago or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
75% of Democratic voters want someone other than Biden in 2024. New
Yes.
poll finds that 75% Democratic and Democratic-leaning voters want
There's another one.
the party to nominate someone other than President Joe Biden in 2024. A sharp increase from earlier this year. In January, February, 51% of Democratic and Democratic-leaning voters said they wanted someone else. It's gone from 51% to 75%. That's a 50% increase, by the way. The poll comes as Biden's approval rating remains low, and most Americans are disconnected with the state of the country and the economy. Inflation remains high, and new report released Tuesday showed consumer confidence slipped for the third straight month. The poll also showed a majority of Republicans and Republican-leaning registered voters say they do not want former President Donald Trump to be their party nominee in 2024 presidential election. 55% say they want someone other than Trump to be the nominee, which is up from 49%. So from 49 to 55, that's a 6% increase. And from 51 to 75%, that's a 24% increase. Thoughts, Adam?
Adam. Well, I'm not shocked about Biden at all. I think as someone who voted for Biden, I would not vote for him again. That's not being emotional. That's
Adam,
being logical.
I didn't know you voted for Biden.
Yeah, I'm not a Trump fan. I don't know if you've got that memo. But I compared to Trump being a drunk driver, and I just wanted someone else to drive us home. Clearly, the new driver that we have is also asleep at the wheel. So, again, it's not a binary decision.
Yes.
I've said very explicitly, I would love for whoever the next president is to somehow get 60% approval rating. When's the last time we had that in America? I'm an American. I love America. That's the only country I've ever lived. It's the only country I want to live. I would love for Americans to get along. I hate the fact that we're at each other's throats. I hate the fact that during the 2020 election, friends or people that I dealt with, we couldn't talk to each other because we voted for different presidents.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good look for America. And I don't think Trump is the answer. And I certainly know that Biden's not the answer. So whoever it is, whether it's a DeSantis, whether it's a Nikki Haley, whether it's a freaking Mike Pence, whether it's a freaking Newsom, I don't care who it is. I want whoever the next president is to have a 60% approval rating. Now you might say, Adam, that's never going to happen. You're crazy. But call it wishful thinking. But that's what I want for America.
Joe.
I don't think that's probably possible for a while. Because look, and Pat, if you and I sat down over tequila for me and whatever you drink,
old fashioned.
Okay, your vision of America and my vision of America.
I'll take one right now.
Yeah. I may have my first tequila of the day. Our visions
Is it
of
9
America
o'clock already?
Our visions of America is probably similar, really close. I believe in a country of freedom, free markets, and a government that generally leaves us alone.
Yep.
That's my vision of America. I think we're so divided, Pat, and this was before Trump. Trump didn't cause this divide. He's just an ugly consequence of the divide. But I think we're going through like a revolutionary period right now where most Americans no longer agree on this basic principle of what it means to be an American. So I think we're divided for a long time. I think it's going to get uglier. The Democrats are in a lot of fucking trouble because Biden is too old. He's incompetent right now. There's nobody else waiting. The Republicans have their issues. It's going to be tough.
Who would you like to see run in 2024?
I have no.
If you know, but you have to give an opinion. I mean, it's a hypothetical.
Who would I like
Who would
to
you like
see?
to see on the Democrat side, and who would you like to see on the Republican side? I assume it's not Trump or Biden.
I'd love to see some Democrat from outside of Washington give me a good, competent governor. I'd love to see a Republican that's a free market, free, limited government.
But name names,
Republican.
Joe. You know people in politics. You know names.
That's not a Trumper. I can't think of one.
So are you saying you want a Gavin Newsom versus DeSantis? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're saying you want a governor and then someone outside of Washington. Who do you want? You know names.
I think Newsom, even though I probably disagree with him on most things, I think would be a really interesting, attractive candidate. I think a guy like he's in Washington, Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown.
Really?
I think the Democrats need a fucking fighter. I think they need the Democrats have become the party of like elite woke wealthy people.
I don't disagree.
And they need a fucking blue collar.
Who do you want to see on the right side now? You know, since you were a Republican your whole life, who would you vote for on the Republican side?
There's nobody right now that I would support.
Zero? You wouldn't support Mike Pence. You wouldn't support Nikki Haley. No. There's no one on the Republican side you would support?
My red line.
Yeah.
And look at Pat.
I don't have to say anything. You're just validating my point.
You know what he's about to say?
I'm just sitting here quiet.
He's about to say, I can hear it. Joe, you're a Democrat.
No, we're past that. But I want to know what Republican you would vote for.
Now you're saying
I cannot and will not, because I publicly said this, I cannot and will not vote for any Republican who voted for Trump in 2020.
I mean, come on. What?
Yeah. Any Republican who, after 4 years of that guy, still voted.
So you're doubling down on your opinion.
No, that's.
But I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. But you're doubling down on that.
Line. So the only Republican I'd support is give me a good Republican who didn't vote for Trump in 2020, and he's a good hard conservative.
I'm going to ask a question to see how people are going to react. If you think, from listening to Joe for the last hour and 40 minutes, he's a Democrat, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's see what's going to happen.
People may.
Let's see what's going to happen.
People will.
I don't know. Maybe we're starting a new movement and we're going to hear an announcement here next couple. But when you say anybody that voted for Trump,
it's only my red line.
I get that. But who does that? Who do you have?
That's everybody. That's Bill Barr. That's like all these people are going to vote for Trump in 2024.
Well, Bill Barr's not going to run for president, thank God.
No,
but anybody running for president.
You asked earlier.
By
Bill
the way,
Barr.
Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger voted for Trump in 2020. Let's not forget that. They campaigned for Trump and voted for him in 2020. They didn't turn on Trump until after January
6th. Wow, I did not know that Liz Cheney
campaigned and voted for him. So, yeah, that's my red line. That puts me in a real tough spot. That's probably why I'm going to be an independent for the rest of my fucking life.
Unless the crowd calls you a Democrat, apparently.
I'm sick of these crowds. Honestly, I'm sick of it. One more person calls Joe a Democrat, you're going to hear from me.
Joe, what's wrong with being called a Democrat, though? I'm not calling you one, but what's wrong with that?
No, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
My problem is when I look a good guy in the face and say, I'm not one, but you are, I just have a problem with that. Come on.
Okay.
Let's have a good discussion.
But freaking stop it, PBD.
He's not un-American.
Getting back to the main point, PBD.
Pat was born in Iran, made it America. BizDoc, sorry, go.
So getting back to the main point on this, I think that I've made my point a few minutes ago. I think the DNC is trying to use soft articles that don't really personally and go heavy on Biden.
They don't want Biden to be the nominee.
What is that sound? Are you hitting something?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was me, my foot. For the record, that was the Democrat, Joe Walsh, tapping his foot.
Can't trust those goddamn Dems.
Let's talk next topic. Fed prepares another mega-sized rate hike, risking deeper economic downturn. Fed policymakers remain laser focused on bringing inflation under control as higher prices prove persistent, even if it triggers a recession. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell told reporters last month that failing to restore price stability would be a bigger mistake than crushing growth and causing a downturn. Central bank policymakers raised the benchmark interest rates by 75 basis points in June for the first time since 1994 and signaled that another increase of that magnitude is possible in July, but a 100 basis point rate hike could be also on the table. Now, didn't they announce that they did 0.75 of a point? Because this is not saying they did yet.
This may have been yesterday morning, and they did it yesterday afternoon.
Okay, so check to see if they made the announcement. I thought they already raised it.
No, they did a month ago, and now there's another raise.
I know. I thought there was another one yesterday.
Yeah, that's correct.
Did
that go through?
I thought yes.
Put news.
Tyler, I think it was 3/4 of a point yesterday.
Yeah,
we're at 225 or 250.
Yesterday, July 27th.
Okay, so go up a little bit. Let's read the article.
The Fed funds rate is now what? 2.25?
That's correct.
2.5?
Yeah.
Multiply by 3, round down a bit, and that's usually mortgages.
Multiply times 3.
And round down a bit. So what's 2.25 times 3 is 6.75. Round down a little bit. There's your 30.
Well, what's crazy, that just breaking news from CNN, U.S. mortgage rates have now dropped. You wouldn't expect that to happen.
Why?
Right? The 30-year fixed mortgage rate falls to 5.3. This is down from 5.54 a week before.
In Parsippany, New York for 805 credit. Make sure you get the whole thing.
It does not say that.
Okay.
In Parsippany, New York. This is this kind of fun facts that Tom will drop on you all of a sudden, and no one in the world's been to Parsippany except like 18,000 people.
Okay.
So let me ask you, what do you think's happening over here with these rates, Tom? Because the biggest thing I want to ask you, Tom, is the following: rates go up 0.75 of a point. Dow blows up yesterday after the announcement. What the hell is going on?
I think there's two things going on. The first thing is that The Fed only has so many weapons in its arsenal. Remember, it's just the Fed. And the solution for inflation is to make the dollar more valuable, so the price of the dollar, which is interest rates, has to go up. It's academic. It goes back a bazillion years. It's complicated by money supply, M1, M2, which we've really juiced in the past 5 years, and so that's there. Now, there are other things that go into the market, going up, because you have a lot of things in commodity, oil price and everything, because that's everything from plastics to fuel. So the market yesterday, I don't think you can say market up yesterday and Fed rate announcement yesterday were perfectly correlated, because I think what you're about to see is you're already seeing in the second quarter announcements that have been going on for the past 2 weeks, miss. Facebook had its first down quarter, year-over-year quarter.
Shopify, 18 points down.
Yeah. What does that say about e-commerce purchases?
Exactly.
So that's another, that's a broad online retail. We already know retail's really in trouble. Americans have stopped buying predominantly. And now we see online retail with Shopify. So I think yesterday the two announcements were not correlated. And I trust what all the second quarter CEOs have been saying, which is I got headwinds and I'm guiding down, and interest rates are going to make it worse.
Let me say something political, and because I learned listening to him. I think Trump is going to announce in early to mid-September, and I've got a contrarian view of this. I think this is still his party, Pat, and I think he generally clears the field. I still don't believe DeSantis would challenge him. I think the voters, look, all Republican insiders, fuck the Wall Street Journal and all these Republican consultants who don't want Trump to run. And they don't. And most of my former colleagues in Congress privately don't want him to run. But fuck all them. It's up to the voters. And I think the voters in the Republican Party right now are still with Trump. So I think when he announces in early September, I think he clears the field.
It's going to be interesting who's going to be the left, because you're seeing Newsom coming out, calling out Florida, calling out Texas, calling out. So, and he's a very, very marketable guy for the left.
Completely.
Very, very marketable guy.
He's
for
the
left.
Justin Trudeau of America.
Yeah, Newsom's doing three
Gavin
things.
Newsom.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom's doing three things.
And I don't think he voted for Trump, by the way.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that Gavin Newsom did not.
Just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah.
No, remember, Gavin.
I'm willing to bet that you could call him a Democrat to his face and he will not get upset. Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom's doing three things. Number one,
by the way, I don't care about being called a Democrat. I don't care. I'm not one, though.
Stop.
I just want you to know that.
Pat, I apologize. That's my fault today.
Seriously.
You've done nothing wrong. It's been all out.
I'm trying to have a civil conversation. You keep poking a bear. Go ahead, Tom.
Right. If I'm not interrupted by one more demon cat. Anyway, channeling Rush Limbaugh. There's three things that Newsom's doing. So we were talking about this. Number one, he's trying to clear the deck of potential primary challengers on that side. Number two, he's trying to get early access to the DNC funds. Which is bigger, the money I raise or the DNC fund? That's the bigger bucket, always is. So you always want to clear the decks because you get early access to it. And the third thing is he's been testing against individual issues, and they are polling the piss out of it in California. If you look at the polls and things coming out of the Chronicle, they're he is intentionally making a national statement against Florida, and then they're polling it to death to see how it's doing.
That's all right, but here's the deal, guys.
And it's all part of him trying to set the ramps.
That's all
it's
correct.
A machine.
But
it's a machine.
It is, and that's all correct, and Newsom's playing it. But if Biden doesn't run, it's going to be a wide open primary because there are a lot of Democrats who want to run.
Even if Biden runs, Joe, it's going to be a wide open primary.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say there's no primary, Joe. I said
the fact that they're still mentioning Kamala's name as a potential candidate in 2024 is a fucking joke.
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure?
I think if Biden comes out next year and says he's run for re-election, I don't think.
Oh, you're going to see arrows in his back like you've never seen a sitting president.
That. And there's also,
are you kidding me? That's a sitting duck right there.
I think America's ready for an 80-year-old president.
Adam, DNC.
We've now opened up the sarcasm.
Or
DNC is planning the article.
Or a
DNC is planting
president.
articles with the New York Times. It's a fact. DNC is planning these softball articles on polling. Maybe Biden shouldn't do this because they're trying to play nice with him respectfully, but lay the groundwork. Joe, the approval rating, the polls, everything.
There's no way Hillary allows Kamala to be the first women president. She's not going to allow that to happen. So Biden's going to make it a couple more years, and then they're going to try to find somebody.
You're saying Hillary will prop up Biden like he's weakened at Burns just so Kamala isn't the first female president. By the way, I don't think anybody wants Kamala to be the president, period, but especially the first female president ever. She's just undeserving of it. She's not the person for the job.
Shopify stock sinks 14% after company says it'll lay off 10% of its workers. CNBC stories. Shopify is laying off roughly 1,000 workers, which is around 10% global workforce. The company announced Tuesday shares of Shopify dropped 14%. In a memo to staff, CEO Toby Lutke acknowledged he had misguided how long the pandemic-driven e-commerce boom would last, and amid a broader pullback in online spending, Shopify would move and cut number of roles. Shopify had more than 10,000 employees as of December 31st of 2021. Shopify bet that the increasing mix of online spending over commerce in stores would permanently leap ahead of by 5 or even 10 years. Lutke said it's staffed up to meet what is anticipated would be a sustained shift to e-commerce, more than doubling its employee base since 2019, said the company in February. Obviously, it's in a different situation today. By the way, you know who bought $50 million of shares in Shopify yesterday? $50 million. Who's the lady that was shorting Tesla?
Kathy Wood?
She bought $50 million.
No. She wasn't shorting Tesla. She was a fan of Tesla, I thought. Kathy Wood.
No.
You're talking about ARC Strategies?
No. I think I'm talking about Kathy Wood bought 50. Let me pull this up.
Wood.
Yeah, she bought
$50
million of Shopify on the dip yesterday.
Got it. So
sells chunk of Coinbase after SEC probe news.
So she's bullish on Shopify.
She is bullish on Shopify.
Well,
by the way,
her whole thing is she's big on tech.
Right, and let's go in here a little bit. What he was saying was very, very true. There is an illusion of the shift, if you overread the statistics, to e-commerce because we were locked down. So e-commerce was how we were ordering so many things. Mm-hmm. And then it's good to be out again and people go into the grocery store and things like that. Not to the mall, but to the grocery store and to Home Depot and things like that. So part of that is a pullback. So what he's saying is I overcorrected thinking it was a permanent correction, a permanent pop. We did get growth of e-commerce, but I overreacted saying permanent. So my next 5 moves, I have to undo that and I have to pull back a little bit. And oh, by the way, the economy is cooling.
By the way,
I think there's a ton that was in that.
You know what I'd like to see right now? I haven't looked at it in months. I'd like to see where the stock of Zoom is right now. Where's Zoom stock right now? Because that was the hottest stock in the world.
Tyler,
2020.
They've already had their correction. It goes back about 6 months. You got
let's see that.
But it's a good question.
Tom, break down, do a case study on Zoom right now.
It takes us back about 6 months. See,
go to a year.
Go 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's been going down for a year.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is indicative of what the state of the economy is right now. Nobody's relying on Zoom anymore.
400 to 100.
What this is,
go 5 years.
But this is also, Pat, a CEO in control because it hasn't. See,
look at the peak. I guarantee you, it's 2020. Yes.
Yeah, it's 20.
Where was it in 2019? Did you see the number? Well below 200.
$80.
Okay, and where was it in peak in 2020?
559.
Yeah, 559.
And where's it now?
100.
So this is a
20 point.
This is a telltale sign.
So in other words, you look at it this way. A lot of speculators made a lot of money in Zoom right here, but it's up 20% over where it was before pandemic.
Is it really?
It is.
Well, because
103 versus
because now it is a full-on household name. I don't think it was a household name in 2019.
That's what I'm saying. Take the spike out, and the net value of the company is up 20% over pre-pandemic.
By the way, could you do the exact same thing for the S&P 500?
I don't
if you
know.
want to talk about the economy as a whole,
no, I don't think it's going to be the same. No way in the world. But take a look. Go to S&P 500.
We're talking depression era.
Or the Dow.
crashes.
You want to go to the Dow?
No, pick an index you like.
No, that's an ETF.
Because
that's an ETF.
Yeah,
that's a
go
spider.
to S&P 500. Wow, I didn't know Tyler knew about spiders. That's pretty impressive. Tyler, man, former Goldman Sachs advisor to now helping out on the podcast. Go to 5 years.
Tyler, I love you.
It's a complete thing.
Tyler, you're going to come work for me.
There you go.
Well, what this shows is that the economy, and this is where you got to give some credit to our friend Joe Biden. 2019, where was the S&P? Below 3,000.
Yeah.
Right? Where is it now? And then it went down to 2,000? Now it's at above 4. Where is it right now?
40.21.
Okay. So according to the stock market, other than that blip in 2020, we're doing better.
But by the way, Zoom's not going to go away. What Zoom is showing, that Zoom stock, I'm glad you brought that up. What that is showing us is people are going back to work at the office.
That's exactly right.
That's what's exactly what that stock
20%
says.
20% pre-pandemic.
So then that's interesting. Would it be? I'd be curious to know the correlation between a market being up versus that. If we have 20% more people working from home now than they did 5 years ago. I think that's probably a right number. 20% is it a little bit more virtual than before? I think maybe it's like a 5 or 10% hike. There's still a lot of people that are working from home, by the way. Okay, so last but not least, let's pick a last topic.
By the way, Joe, you made it. You got 5 minutes left, baby. I don't know if you're in a bathroom break. You got 5 minutes.
I'm so
Hang in there.
I'm having fun. I need more coffee.
And hey, since we're talking numbers real quick, we got 3,500 people watching, okay? 900 people voted.
I knew it.
80% of them say that you're a Democrat.
Wow, so disappointing.
Can't listen
Honestly,
to these guys.
the people have spoken. Screw them. Tell them to come here right now.
Is that a biased sample?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're
Little
gonna. His word is gospel with this audience.
Man, that, honestly, sometimes it pisses me off. I can't believe they said the fact that
we love our valuetainment.
Anyways, hey, Joe, first of all, you came. The audience likes it and respects, whether they agree or disagree. If there's one thing our audience respects, is a person that has the guts to come here and talk and hash it out on a podcast, because it's different than when you're on a Fox or CNN or MSNBC. You got 30 seconds to give an answer. You can actually get deeper here, and we all learn. And the more there's a fight, the more the audience wins, and I think the audience definitely won today. So, podcast. You mind talking to the guys about your podcast? What you talk about on your podcast? I don't know how to find you.
The white flag.
I'll do it quickly because, Pat, everything you just said is right, which is why I like what you do here and which is why America needs more of this. We're so fucking siloed. We only talk to people who think like us and believe the things we believe in. We don't want to get smarter. We just want our ideas confirmed. So this is great stuff that you're doing. I appreciate it. I have had fun. I needed more to eat. I've had too fucking much coffee. I've been a very divisive political figure over the last 10 years. So I launched this podcast called White Flag with Joe Walsh to try to do something about that divide. Every week, I sit down with somebody who doesn't think like me. And we spend an hour and a half debating, talking, having a conversation about an issue. Had a guy on 2 weeks ago who said we should forgive all student debt. Bullshit, I said, a horrible idea. But we had an hour and a half respectful conversation about that. So that's all I'm trying to do now.
You probably have a hard time finding guests who agree with you. You're going to find Democrats, you're going to find Republicans, you're going to find them like. Can you give us some examples?
We can't do that. We can't. We got 1 minute. We got to get off, so I know where you're going.
Who agrees with me.
So, anyways, let's put the link below to his podcast. By the way, a bunch of people are saying they respect the hell out of you for coming on and being on the podcast. And
even though I'm a Democrat,
you're saying it.
Don't say that, Joe.
You're saying it.
Joe, why would you label yourself? There it is.
No, Tyler, don't cut that.
It's a reel. It's going to get 500,000 views.
Short clip. Tyler,
it's the first thing I'm cutting up.
College.
So tonight, folks, a couple things. Tonight, Adam's doing a podcast with Rollo. Is having a debate with
Ruslan. 3 o'clock Eastern, right here.
So Christian man debating Rollo on the topics of women, dating, marriage, all
How
that
men
stuff. You're
should
the host.
operate today.
Exciting to see what's going to happen with that. And then, are we back again next Tuesday for podcast?
We're back again next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, we're back again on the podcast. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful weekend. We'll do this again next Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.